you pleaded for Washington to enforce our laws. As illegal immigration surged, refugees flooded in, and lax vetting threatened your family's safety and security. Your pleas have finally been... Oh, don't worry, we're going to have the wall. Don't worry about it.
That is absolutely racist. That's that dog whistling. That's saying to people, this is what is happening in America with you and all the problems that we have.
Live from an undisclosed location.
And they're still with him. They're not with you. Explain to me what that disconnection is.
Actually, I'm going to push back. I disagree with you. When you talk...
Well, his fans are not with you.
Hold on.
Come on.
When we
They don't like you, Pocahontas.
Unchained and unstoppable.
That is the name that Donald Trump uses for Senator Elizabeth Warren, to the delight of people who apparently think Pocahontas is a Disney character. Pocahontas was a real person. And tonight, 400 years later, the President of the United States is trying to do Elizabeth Warren some hurt by throwing a name at her that was invented by Native Americans to protect a woman.
Who do you love? Howie Carr.
And that's the problem right now is we can look at a broken immigration system and you can look at illegal immigration. Well, there's no legal way for immigrants to actually enter this country. And these are people that want to work. They want to feed their families. They're fleeing really bad situations. And once they get here, they just contribute.
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
Sometimes I need 48 hours off from the introduction just because it's just so appalling what the moonbats say. I don't know what that last one was ridiculous. I mean, they're contributing. Yes, they're contributing to the rape epidemic on American campuses, like the gangbanger in the sanctuary city of Newton, Massachusetts. But let's go back to the Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas thing. You heard that. That was Lawrence O'Donnell. Keep your arms out, Lawrence. It'll make it harder for them to throw the net over you. Why do you think Donald Trump is making fun of Elizabeth Warren and calling her Pocahontas? It's because she is fraudulently claimed to be a Native American. How many more times do we have to say this? I cannot believe that Donald Trump knows more about Pocahontas's fake Indian background than all of her acolytes in the alt-left, very fake news consuming moonbat community. It's ridiculous. How many more times do we have to say this? We just posted a column on townhall.com. It's the first time I've been on townhall.com about Elizabeth Warren. And we posted all the tweets that the moonbats are sending out, calling Donald Trump a racist for pointing out the obvious, that she's a racial fraudster. And also the fact that she has no comeback when somebody like Bill Maher calls her Pocahontas. She has no comeback. She's had how many months to prepare for this stupid book tour that she's on? And she still hasn't got any snappy repartee to throw back at somebody who calls her Pocahontas.
And they're still with him. They're not with you. Explain to me what that disconnection is.
Actually, I'm going to push back. I disagree with you. When you talk...
Well, his fans are not with you.
Hold on.
Come on.
When we
They
talk...
don't like you, Pocahontas.
When you talk about...
She has no comeback. She doesn't say, they're after me. They want to change the subject because they're hammering the middle class of America. And I grew up on the ragged, or was it the jagged edge of the middle class? And we were down to our last 3 cars in the driveway in my house in Oklahoma City or Tulsa, wherever I was a senior in high school back in 1965, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, Lord.
Poop.
A bunch of poop. Bunch of poop is what it was. So I didn't even put this in the town hall story, but they're trying to struggle. They're struggling, as Joe Namath would say, to come up with an explanation for this phoniness. Did you see this stuff in the message boards of the Boston Globe?
No, Howie, I don't read the message boards because message boards aren't meant to be read.
It is, though. You could see them trying to work out their next narratives to explain the next turn of the tangled web they weave when first they practice and secondly and thirdly and fourthly practice to deceive. Here's one. Harvard manipulated it to make its law school faculty look more diverse. So in other words, Harvard checked the box. Not Elizabeth Warren. Harvard checked the box. After I guess the University of Pennsylvania checked the box where she was before she went to Harvard. And then here's another one. This is a different moonbat trying to explain it away. This was, I guess, on Friday. This was, when the story first broke that Trump had been calling her Pocahontas again in Atlanta. She described her ethnic background as pretty much a family urban legend that could not be substantiated. She did? Could I have some citation for that, please? Could I have a link to the website where she described it as an urban legend?
And why didn't she just say that to Bill Maher?
Right. It's just, why didn't she come up with that excuse that she used in 2012, which was, my pawpaw told me I had high cheekbones. Yeah, we had a family tradition of we had great family recipes from the Cherokee Nation. I remember eating cold crab omelet as a child. That's what they cooked on the Trail of Tears on the way to Oklahoma from North Carolina and Tennessee. Bunch of BS. I'm just tired of this. And of course, they called it racist name calling. How can it be racist? One white person is calling another white person a fraud. How is that possibly racist? And by the way, who is whiter, Elizabeth Warren or Donald Trump? I'm going to vote for Elizabeth Warren.
I thought cultural appropriation was supposed to be taboo on the left. I mean, isn't this what Warren was engaged in?
I would say so. Yes. It's fraud, is what it is. I mean, do you have to? I don't think you have to sign those documents, those employment documents under pains and penalties of perjury. But maybe you should have to prevent this kind of crap from happening with her and Ward Churchill and Sean King and Rachel Dolezal and all the rest of these fraudsters. Anyway, 1-844-500-4242. Enough of that. You can read we tweeted out the column from Town Hall today, by the way. And we have a special deal going now. Now that it's May, it's a new month, and we still don't take EBT cards for Kennedy Babylon, but you can go onto my website, HowieCarrShow.com, click on Kennedy Babylon, and if you order the book now for the foreseeable future, if you order it for $19.99, you will also get a free Kennedy Babylon T-shirt, which is also $19.99 under normal circumstances. So you're getting two for the price of one, half price. The book and the T-shirt for $19.99. It's a good deal. So, and of course, you can also order it at Howie Carr at Kennedy Amazon.com. Just go to Kennedy Babylon and click on Amazon.com. But you don't get the free T-shirt if you order at Amazon.com.
Do you have any Kennedy Babylon tank tops? Coming into the summer months, if we're going down to the Cape, we're going to need a tank top.
I haven't thought about that, but I will consider that. I will take that under advisement.
The young people, Grace and I, we need to get some sun.
I mentioned when I was at my book signings in New Hampshire and Swansea and Claremont over the weekend, a couple of people mentioned that they had Hitman tank tops. We used to have tank tops. We've occasionally had tank tops. Maybe we should have them again. It can be done. It can be arranged. But anyway, right now, if you order the book at HowieCarrShow.com and click on Kennedy Babylon, you order the book for the regular price and you get a free T-shirt as well. So it's a good deal. And I'll read you the list of where you can buy the book in the bookstores. And it's now available, by the way, in Books A Million in Bangor and South Portland, Maine. Those are our new bookstores just in the over the past weekend, in addition to None Such Books in South Portland and Biddeford Crossing. And I'll read you the list of bookstores in Massachusetts later on today. 1-844-500-4242. That's the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. You probably haven't heard this, or you haven't heard much about it. It happened late last night. They got a budget negotiation deal, a spending agreement that will keep the government funded through the end of September. This was the first significant bipartisan measure passed by Congress since Donald Trump took office. And it looks like the Republicans really got rolled here. And it's hard to know. Sean Spicer at the press briefing today at the White House said, well, normally under a normal administration, this budget would have already been in place, and we had to get it approved to the end of September, to the end of the federal fiscal year. And then we'll have a new budget in October, and they had to just do this to keep the government operating. But it doesn't look good. I mean, given the fact that the Republicans control all levers of government at this point, including the presidency, and that they control all the legislatures as well. I mean, it looks like it's from weakness, and it will. And they also didn't get it out any of their spin on it until this morning. So they just kind of let the morning papers and the morning newscasts run with the Democrat spin. And we'll go over it when we come back, but it looks like it was a pretty bad deal for the Republicans, and there's nothing in there for the border wall. And I understand you can make the argument that the illegal immigration is way down, and the message is getting out to all the illegal aliens that they're not going to have a free ride here anymore. Although, you wouldn't hardly know it to look at the new district court, would you? But anyway, it's not a great deal, and we're going to talk about that and get your feelings if you're disappointed or not disappointed in what happened. 1-844-500-4242. That's the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. This half hour of the Howie Carr Show is powered by Subaru of New England, featuring the symmetrical all-wheel drive Subaru Legacy. With its stunning design, the Legacy was made to be seen during your adventures. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Learn more at SubaruofNewEngland.com. I'm Howie Carr.
The Howie Carr Show.
I keep my personal gun collection in my Liberty safe, and I love knowing that no one can get to these guns but me. These safes are amazing.
And everything I have is totally and completely safe thanks to Liberty safes.
They're number one for a reason. They survived the dynamite blast. They drop them from 200 feet. The Liberty safes survive. They are picked up by a tornado and thrown a block and a half away. And they're still closed, and the stuff inside is still intact. They've been in house fires where everything is burned down, and yet the documents still remain inside. They're amazing.
So when you get a Liberty safe, honestly, you'll be like, I just want to go out in the garage, or I want to go to the basement, and I just want to sit with it for a while.
Oh, I just open and close it all the time because I think I'm cool.
They are unbelievable.
Yeah.
They're unlike any other safe you've ever seen.
They really understand how to get out the message, and it doesn't hurt that they make a really great product. So thanks, Liberty Safe. It's always fun working with you.
We could play another commercial, or we could just play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
While I'm not at this time a candidate for the presidency, I will decide by June whether or not I will become one. Business Week magazine, which is now Bloomberg Business Week, said in a vote of its readers that Donald Trump was the world's most competitive business person.
The Pew Research says that there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead. I know the greatest negotiators in the world. Some are horrible people, horrible human beings. Who cares? Some Wall Street guys, they're brutal, they're miserable. You wouldn't want to go out to dinner. They're terrible people. I love them.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Hi, this is Andrea from Ever So Humble Pie Company in East Walpole. Well, it's that time of year when comfort food is king. And now, in addition to our delectable dessert pies, we're offering home-style classics like chicken pot pie, shepherd's pie, and Canadian meat pie. Simply turn on your oven and you'll have a wholesome, hearty meal. Pick up a fruit pie while you're here, and you've got dinner and dessert from Ever So Humble Pie Company. For more information, call us at 508-660-9731 or visit us at eversohumble.com. That's eversohumble.com.
It's here, Howie Carr's latest book, Kennedy Babylon, A Century of Depravity and Scandal. Kennedy Babylon is a whirlwind tour of scandals from the days of the Kennedy clan's rabidly anti-Semitic patriarch to the death of JFK Jr. Ann Coulter says Howie Carr is making Kennedy books great again. You'll love the never-before-seen images of the Kennedy family in Howie Carr's latest book, Kennedy Babylon, A Century of Depravity and Scandal. Now shipping. Order today at HowieCarrshow.com. Click Kennedy Babylon.
PatriotPrepared.com carries the leading brands of storable food from Numanna, Legacy, and Heaven's Harvest. Patriot Prepared. Our name says it all. We're dedicated to empowering you to be self-reliant and confident in any circumstance. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or you're an outdoor sports enthusiast, PatriotPrepared.com has prepackaged meals and kits for your entire family. Legacy, Heaven's Harvest, and Numanna are known for high-quality, great-tasting GMO-free, nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. Simple to prepare, easy to store, gluten-free and organic high-quality nutrition options with a 25-year shelf life. You can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. So go to PatriotPrepared.com right now to pick up your supply of high-quality storable food for your family, because it makes good sense to be prepared. That's PatriotPrepared.com.
Grace Curley is giving you her take on the news of the day. Read Grace's latest column at HowieCarrshow.com. This is the Howie Carr Show.
1-844-500-4242. That's the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. And by the way, today's a good day to get on the Chump line. If you want to, go to 844-500-4242. Press 2 for the Chump line. Leave a recorded voicemail message. We may or may not play it at this time each weekday, but apparently there were some bad ice cubes out there this weekend, and Grace was just telling me that she doesn't have a lot of stuff out there. So we're going to we would encourage you to call in to the Chump line today with any messages that you want. By the way, I think I'm going to be on Tucker Carlson later this week. They seem to like the column about the Newton District Court and the hack judge, the second-generation hack judge, Heffernan. We've actually got the audio tape from the courtroom. It'll increase your blood pressure, I guarantee it, when we play it tonight in the last hour of the show. 1-844-500-4242. Today's poll question is brought to you by Casper Mattress. I love this warmer weather. Well, it will get warmer eventually.
I love the theory of warming weather. How about that?
Yes. I love the concept of warmer weather.
The potential for warm weather.
Yeah, but it can keep you, it could, if it ever comes, it could keep you from getting a good night's quality sleep. A good mattress helps. Have the best. I have a Casper. Try yours for 100 nights, risk-free. Go to Casper.com and use code Howie for $50 towards the purchase of your mattress. Terms and conditions apply. Steve, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Did the Republicans get rolled in budget negotiations?
Sure looks like they did, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
86% say yes, Howie.
Yeah. And again, I understand all the caveats that Sean Spicer and et al. Were putting out there, that they had to get some kind of deal here, and because Obama, of course, didn't do anything as per his MO, and that they didn't want a government shutdown, and that illegal immigration is down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and they haven't got the Obamacare repeal done yet. I get it. But still, I mean, when the Republicans control every lever of the federal government and many of the levers of state government around the country, it seems like rather thin gruel overall. 1-844-500-4242. Speaking of the warmer weather, though, they opened up my pool today in the backyard. They came out. Yeah, I was just going over the newspapers, and all of a sudden I hear this this hammering outside, and they had the jack on the ice on the pool. They were trying to drill through it so they could turn on the pool. It's great. Spring is almost here. We got the ice all cleared off the pool, and it's all ready to go. Time for the birds, time for the ducks to come in. All right, 1-844-500-4242. We'll take a couple of calls here. I got the whole story here from the Washington Post. I know it's the very fake news Washington Post and all that, but there doesn't seem to be too much disagreement about what exactly happened here. I mean, it's not like a Russian hacking story where they're just making crap up and talking about the Russians getting into the electrical power grid when it's a guy searching for his email. I mean, everybody pretty much agrees on the stuff here. But we'll read it after the bottom of the hour, but I'll just take a couple of calls here real quick. Dave, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Dave.
Are the Republicans going to need all 100 seats in the Senate before they're able to not get rolled? I mean, they fold up like a cheap valise every time something like this goes on.
That's a good question. It's really a good question, Dave. I mean, how many more seats do they need? Now they're telling us, well, we have to win some of those 18 Democrat seats that are up in 2018. Well, you've done away with the filibuster. You have 52 people plus Pence. He's the 53rd vote. I mean, how many votes do they need? They have more Republicans in the House than any time since the 1920s.
They just suck as bad as the Democrats, Howie. That's all there is to it. I mean, there's nothing worse than someone or an organization with power that they don't exercise in favor of themselves and their constituents.
Yeah. It is. I mean, they don't have any spine, it looks like, Dave. They don't have any backbone here, I mean, it's like, I was thinking about Paul Ryan, he's the creature from the swamp. But, there's the various kinds of creatures in the swamp. There are reptiles, but beneath the reptiles on the evolutionary chain are the amphibians. I think Paul Ryan is an amphibian,
It's, yeah. I know. That's why I'm unenrolled, Howie.
Me too. That makes that's the majority. I think that's the plurality, if not the majority of voters. It's certainly the plurality in Massachusetts, and it's getting to be close to the majority around the country. I don't want to be a Republican. It's embarrassing to be a Republican. As long as I can take a ballot from either party when I go in on primary day, I'll be unenrolled for the rest of my life. 1-844-500-4242. Okay, we're going to just wait for the music, and then we'll come back. I'll read you some of the bullet points here in this story about this budget deal, so-called deal. It's kind of a one-sided deal. What did Mr. Dooley say in Chicago more than 100 years ago? Trust everybody but cut the cards. I think Ryan and McConnell forgot to cut the cards here last night during these negotiations.
Well, at least the government didn't shut down, Howie.
How many more times do I have to say that? Do you mind? I don't mind if the government shuts down. Do you mind if the government shuts down? I'm not planning to go to Yellowstone Park in the next week or so. I'm Howie Carr.
And now one of Howie's biggest fans.
Approval rating, Obama, 79. Trump, 32. Think about it. You can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself. You can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself. Get over it, Howie. At least Obama can spell potato, you fucking asshole. Stupid Republican. Don't pee on me and tell me it's raining. Did I hear right? The information was leaked? Get it? He's going to drop the bomb, and then you might go, yeah, maybe he wasn't the best choice. Yeah, maybe I should have voted for Hillary. Yeah. You can't please everyone, so you've got to please yourself. Don't pee on me and tell me it's raining.
Hey there, quick question for you. Would you be okay with more energy, more endurance, thicker, healthier hair, a better mood, reduced appearance of wrinkles, improved sleep, improved blood pressure and cholesterol profiles, improved vision, improved memory? Okay then. Well now, have you heard of Nature's Youth RSF? It's from the anti-aging experts at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. See, at Nature's Youth, they understand exactly what it means to provide top-quality health products. And Nature's Youth customers not only improve their health, they know they're also providing their body with the right nourishment to maintain that peak performance and fight the aging process. If health, wellness, and nutrition are what you desire, choose Nature's Youth RSF. I did. You see, you're going to get older. It's just up to you how you feel when you get there. Get started today. Nature's Youth RSF. Simple to use, simple to order. Go to nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com.
Would odors, mold, and mildew describe your basement or crawl space? It doesn't have to be that way. Transform them into a fresh, healthy, usable one with the technologically advanced Wave Moisture Control Units. The computerized operation maximizes moisture control and also expels harmful radon, combustion gases, and numerous other pollutants. Dehumidifiers are old technology that do nothing for air quality and waste energy. Wave units are intelligent, self-monitoring, do not need maintenance, and will save you hundreds in electricity. Wave units are still running effectively over 15 years. They've been tested and installed in public and military housing and by property managers nationwide. Buy a unit now, and if your home is not fresher and drier, you can return it for a full refund for up to 12 months. What have you got to lose? Call now. 1-888-618-WAVE. 1-888-618-WAVE. Or visit mydryhome.com. That's mydryhome.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Hey guys, it's Grace from the Howie Carr Show. Gifts are always great, but who really needs more stuff? Let's be honest, between Christmas and the New Year, it's hard to come up with a nice way to give a great gift without just regifting that old fruitcake. But luckily, we have the perfect gift idea for you. It's the Howie Carr Show VIP experience. If someone you know is a fan of Howard Lawrence Carr, then this is the perfect way to celebrate any occasion. Come visit Howie in our brand new studio and watch the entire show. Best part? Well, if you were to ask Howie, he'd probably say the Kowloon. And I can't really disagree. But there is also no other way to see all the behind-the-scenes work that goes into New England's favorite radio show. Get your picture with Howie and a selfie with yours truly. We've had over 100 people enjoy the VIP experience, and the reviews have been stellar. We've even had the occasional guest on air to tell their own funny story to the listeners. So don't delay and buy your VIP experience today at HowieCarrshow.com. Click store. HowieCarrshow.com. Click store.
Howie is saving you 50% off your favorite products and services. Howie's Cheap Bastard Deal. Thursdays at 3:30. Get to HowieCarrshow.com. Click deals. Now, back to Howie Carr.
1-844-500-4242. 508. I'm hoping the administration knows what they're doing. I think they're just figuring that, as the old saying goes, discretion is sometimes the better part of valor, and that they're just not ready for a fight on this. They think things are kind of going their way. They think they're going to get the vote on repealing Obamacare. They're driving down illegal immigration. They won on Gorsuch. They're getting ready to nominate a bunch of justices to the appeals and district courts, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know. I hope they know what they're doing too. But I'm not tired of winning. Trump said we were going to get tired of winning. I don't think any of us have gotten tired of winning. Let's see. I'll just read you a few of these things from this is from the Washington Post today. The White House agreed to punt on a lot of the president's top priorities until this fall to avert a shutdown on Friday and to clear the desk so that the House can pass a health care bill. Democrats are surprised. And again, you got to take this with somewhat of a grain of salt because it's the Washington Post. But I think there's more truth to this story than most Washington Post stories. Democrats are surprised by just how many concessions they extracted in the $1 trillion deal, considering that Republicans have unified control of government. 1,665 pages, by the way. There are explicit restrictions to block the border wall. And again, you know their defense. I mean, crossings are down, deportations are up. The message is getting out. That's the Trump administration's pushback on that. We knew last week there would be no money to start construction on a project that the president says is more important to his base than anything else, and it is. But the final agreement goes further, putting strict limitations on how Trump can use new money for border security, i.e. to invest in new technology and repair existing fencing. The $1.5 billion for border security is also half as much as the White House requested. Additionally, there are no cuts in funding to sanctuary cities. This is very important. Something a federal judge said last week would be required for the Justice Department to follow through on its threats. And there is also no money for a deportation force. Non-defense domestic spending will go up despite the Trump's team's insistence that he wouldn't let that happen. Among the many items in this part of the bill, Nancy Pelosi got another $295 million for Medicaid in Puerto Rico. So another $300 million for Puerto Rican welfare, thanks to Nancy Pelosi. Even though she thinks she's dealing with President Bush, she still rolled him apparently. Trump fought to cut the EPA by a third, the Environmental Protection Agency. The final deal trims its budget by 1% with no staff cuts. So it went down to $80 million on an $8 billion budget. There is no defunding of Planned Parenthood, despite the best efforts of social conservatives. The president got less than half as much for the military as he said was necessary. Trump repeatedly prodded Congress to increase military spending by $30 billion. He's getting $12.5 billion with an additional $2.5 billion when he delivers a detailed plan on how to defeat the Islamic State. How much more of a detailed plan does he need? He's running out of bombs. He's hitting him with so many bombs. Did you read that story over the weekend? The head of the general that's running the campaign says that they're running out of ordnance to hit the Islamic State with. They're dropping so much on them. I mean, that's a plan. That sounds like a plan to me. Then there are little things like there all these riders that were pulled out. For instance, the Justice Department is no longer is not able to restrict the dispensing of medical marijuana to states where it has been legalized. That's a small thing. I don't give a bleep about that. Ultimately, but still, I mean, how can the Democrat minority hamstring the Republican majority in something as minor as marijuana? 1-844-500-4242. Tony, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Tony.
Hey, Howie, I think we got sold out, okay, by the Republicans in the House and also President Trump. It seems like President Trump seems to be taking these guys at their word for everything they want. They should have never passed this budget, and he should have just let the government close down, because instead of a few government workers sleeping at work, they would have slept at home for a few more weeks and then gone back to work. It was a big mistake. You should have shut it down.
I tend to, maybe that would have been a better poll question, Tony. Should he have let the government shut down? That might have been a better poll question, actually, now that I think about it. Because you're right. I mean, were you affected adversely by any of these stupid government shutdowns over the last few years? I certainly wasn't.
No, of course not, Howie. Of course not. And it's the same thing, Howie. The Democrats keep pushing the Republicans back into a wall because as long as Paul Ryan is there, they're going to keep doing it because they know they can get away with it. Yeah. And they've done it again. Again, they bamboozled them.
The thing is, I don't even know if you need to bamboozle Paul Ryan. I think Paul Ryan is. Who do you think Paul Ryan is closer to, Donald Trump or the Democrats on Capitol Hill? Maybe not Pelosi herself, but I mean just Democrats in general. I think he thinks he has a lot more in common with his fellow Democrat congressman than he does with Trump and Bannon and even Mnuchin and those people. Even the Democrat members of the Trump administration. mean, they're all lifers. All those guys are lifers up there on Capitol Hill, and they don't like anybody who comes in and rattles their cage.
Yeah, well, Paul Ryan was Obama's right-hand man for a few years, so that goes to tell you everything. Obama passed everything under Paul Ryan's nose.
I know. What did Dole? Newt Gingrich used to call Bob Dole for when Bill Clinton was president. He called him the tax collector for the welfare state. I think you could say the same thing about Paul Ryan right now. The tax collector for the welfare state. He's Bob Dole's successor. And it's just it's very disappointing. It's disappointing. I hope I'm wrong about this, and I hope and again, I'm happy with Gorsuch. I'm happy with the Keystone XL pipeline. I'm happy with the illegal crossings being down. I'm happy with Jeff Sessions and Ryan Zinke and the tax cut and all this stuff. But I want it all. It's been such a long 8 years in the wilderness. I don't like to wait for the.
Well, Howie,
go ahead.
At what point is President Trump going to put his foot down? Okay, on Ryan's throat, on the Democrats' throat, and push what he would ran for. The things that he ran on, okay, he's backing out on them.
Yeah.
Okay, I think instead of trying to make phone calls to the leader of the Philippines and the Korean leader, he's got to start, taking control of these guys like they are the North Koreans and the Philippines.
Yeah. I know. Thanks for the call, Tony. I mean, North Korea. I mean, they got nuclear weapons. They're out of their minds. But I mean, Tony's right about the head of the Philippines. I mean, he's just a crazy, Marie Le Pen type of person. I mean, why do we need to do business with him? I mean, why do we need to put him on the front burner? I know we want to keep him happy and all that, and he's fighting the Islamic terrorists in the outer islands and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I get all that. But I mean, is it really necessary for Trump to be spending a lot of time talking to this guy? I don't think so. I'd rather him talking to Paul Ryan. Sally, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Sally.
Hi, Howie. Long time.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am grossly disappointed in the Republicans in not supporting the people's will and not hearing what we want. And I don't know what it's going to take for them to wake up. But I am glad to hear that immigration is down because notice to your alert to all of your Orono listeners in Orono, Maine, the Orono Council is going to be meeting tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. to make Orono a sanctuary city.
Oh, God, another one?
Yes.
This is like monkey see, monkey do with all these college towns, Sally. They can't. They last week, a couple of weeks ago, it was Newton doing it, and then they let an illegal alien alleged rapist gangbanger go on $2,500 bail last week. It's just outrageous what's going on with these sanctuary cities.
It's like a protest. It's out of control.
I know. By the way, there was a good column in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend from Peggy Noonan. She said that these protests, that's what reminded me of it when you mentioned protests, Sally. She said these are not like traditional American political protests. These are more like the Salem witch trials. And there's really something to be said for that if you read up on how hysterical people were during the Salem witch trials or any kind of mass hysteria movements, over the course of history. And she's really onto something here. 1-844-500-4242. It's like these people that are these people in the resistance, the protesters in places like Berkeley or at Claremont or Middlebury. It's like they're possessed, and that's what those people were possessed that were testifying at the Salem witch trials. Thanks for the call, Sally. 1-844-500-4242. Folks, President Trump has been president for just 100-plus days now, and the big media and Democrats already want to impeach him. Why are they so afraid of Donald Trump? Well, if you read David Horowitz's Big Agenda, you'll find out Trump's secret plan and why liberals are so worried. I urge you to get Big Agenda, a #1 bestseller, 10 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list. It's on Amazon and at bookstores everywhere. Get Big Agenda today to help President Trump. Lee, you're next with Howie Carr and the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Lee.
Well, I just picture up there on the Capitol Hill people trying to argue with these liberals. I mean, when did you ever get a word in edgewise with a liberal?
That's what I mean with the whole Salem. That's why I mean comparing them to the Salem witch trial prosecution witnesses. You know, they're possessed.
Yeah, I think if you don't bark them down and make them sit down, they ain't going to listen. And even if they do listen, they're not going to change their mind. And I just picture it like somebody cowling to them just so they can get to the next page of the budget. I don't know. I hate to say that they're wimping out, but I think they wimped out. I think they need to stand up and say, listen, we need more, and we're going to do more. This is what the majority of the people want.
Yeah.
Now, the wall we can live without. We can get it in a little while later. But, I mean, you can't – I just picture it. Well, actually, you can watch it on TV now, but it must be horrible trying to talk to these people and get them to come over to your side. They won't do it. You might get them to say, yeah, a couple times, like at a dinner party or something, but 5 minutes later, they're right back where they were. It's crazy.
I know. And you know, here's Trump at the Pennsylvania rally, and this was in Harrisburg on Saturday night. You may have seen this, but this is cut 7 where he's talking about having the wall. And 24 hours later, they agreed not to have a wall, basically. Here it is.
Year after year, you pleaded for Washington to enforce our laws. As illegal immigration surged, refugees flooded in, and lax vetting threatened your family's safety and security. Your pleas have finally been... Oh, don't worry, we're going to have the wall. Don't worry about it.
I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. You'll have the wall. It's just going to be a little 6-month delay now. All right. 1-844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr.
The Howie Carr Show continues next.
Hello out there. Incredibly bad Christopher Walken impersonator here. A lot of companies have these zany mission statements that sound like they were written by a bunch of pinheads sitting in an ivory tower somewhere, chock full of claptrap about process solutions and commitments to constituencies and long-term strategies, another such falderall. And frankly, it's doubtful anyone who works there even knows what's in it, except perhaps the pinheads that wrote it. My friends, if you don't know where you're going, how will you know if you're lost? Matthews Brothers doesn't have an ivory tower, and I'm fairly certain they have some kind of unwritten rule about hiring pinheads. Their company mission statement is 4 words: consistently superior customer service. They call it WOW customer service, and it's the shining beacon that guides these Matthews brothers and sisters through their daily endeavors. You can see the results of this singular commitment to wicked awesomeness, but only at better lumberyards and window professionals or on the web at MatthewsBrothers.com. Matthews Brothers, 1T, America's oldest window manufacturer.
I'll be in Keene, New Hampshire at the Colonial Theater with my Kennedy Babylon show for a special event to raise money for our veterans. The event is called Music for Heroes. 4 great bands will perform on stage, and I'll be doing my Kennedy Babylon show. All the money raised will help veterans in New Hampshire. Want tickets? Just make a donation of $20 or more, and we'll give you a pair of tickets. Get to HowieCarrshow.com and click Kennedy Babylon. I'll see you in Keene, New Hampshire on May 20th for my Kennedy Babylon show and a night of great music. All for our vets. HowieCarrshow.com, click Kennedy Babylon.
Howdy, folks. Comedian Crazy Jake here. On Friday, May 12th, I'm going to be yucking it up at the Damn Yankees Barbecue at the Waterfront Tavern in Holyoke, Mass. to raise money for a wicked good cause. Proceeds from this event will benefit homeless veterans at DV Farm. So come on out for a night of laughter, fun, and great barbecue to raise money for our veterans in need. Doors open at 6 p.m. for dinner, and the show starts at 8. Get your tickets for only $15 at the Waterfront Tavern on Main Street in Holyoke, Mass. or online at crazyjakecomedy.com, and that's crazy with a K.
And now, a bunch of random facts with Grace.
It is impossible to sneeze with your eyes open. The placement of a donkey's eyes in its head enables it to see all 4 feet at all times. Months that begin on a Sunday will always have a Friday the 13th. What is called a French kiss in the English-speaking world is known as an English kiss in France. Birds don't urinate. but they do poop. Let me tell you. You can't kill yourself by holding your breath. So that's good. A woman from California once tried to sue the makers of Cap'n Crunch because the crunch berries contained no berries of any kind. In Japan, crooked teeth are considered cute and attractive. A Swedish woman lost her wedding ring and found it 16 years later, growing on a carrot in her garden. The toothpaste Colgate in Spanish translates to, go hang yourself.
This has been a bunch of random facts with Grace. Check out Grace's latest posts, pictures, and blogs at HowieCarrshow.com.
Many legislators claim to be for lower taxes and government transparency, but are they really? Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance keeps you informed by posting the voting records of our elected officials. You can log on to our website at massfiscal.org. Click Scorecard to see how your legislator is voting on Beacon Hill. And while you're there, make a donation. And be sure to join our email list so you can stay up to date with the latest information on what's happening at the State House with Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance.
Paid for by the Mass Fiscal Alliance, Rick Green, Chairman.
Hi, I'm Howie Carr, and I'm here with Rick Green of the Mass Fiscal Alliance. Wow, Mass Fiscal is really driving the moonbats crazy.
Who knew putting voting records online would be so controversial? Many legislators claim to be for lower taxes and government transparency, but they sure don't vote that way.
Your group is just what this state needs. How can the listeners help you guys?
Just have them visit our website at www.massfiscal.org. They can join our email list and donate if they like. And of course, make sure they check out our scorecard to see how their legislators voted.
Paid for by the Mass Fiscal Alliance. Rick Green, Chairman.
Hi, this is Howie Carr, attorney at law. Are you a white male who voted for Donald Trump? Do you have a Make America Great sweatshirt or a hat? Have you had a beer since November the 8th? If you answered yes to one or more of the above questions, there's a good chance that you are soon going to be charged with committing a fake hate crime. Will you be ready, you uneducated redneck, when you get charged with committing a fake hate crime? Will you be ready? You need reasonable doubt at a reasonable price. And that's where Howie Carr, attorney at law, Esquire, comes in. Call me at 1-800-FAKE-HRC. 1-800-FAKE-HRC. And we will get you some legal insurance for when it inevitably occurs and you're charged with a fake hate crime.
(844) 500-4242. This is the Howie Carr Show.
1-844-500-4242. One of the texters says, I can handle a 6-month delay in the wall. The rest is unacceptable. I think he's right. I think he's right on with that sentiment. I can handle it again with the illegal immigration going down. Even though we still have these sanctuary cities running amok and letting criminals commit the most heinous kinds of crimes against Americans and get away with it. 6 months, as long as I don't get shot or killed or attacked or drive-by hit, I'll be okay. But, the rest of it, it's just bad. It's bad. Soon after the deal was reached last night, says the Washington Post, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi quickly put out celebratory statements, but Mitch McConnell and Paul Ryan, the Republican leaders, did not. What does that tell you? The lack of aggressive messaging from Republican leadership, and especially the White House late Sunday, is one of the reasons that coverage is so lopsidedly bad for them in this morning's papers on cable news. And then they list all the examples of it. So that's the situation here. And, it's one thing to get rolled by the Democrats, but to get rolled by Nancy Pelosi, she still can't figure out who the damn president of the United States is. This is yesterday. She won the negotiations, even though she still thinks she's dealing with Bush. This was yesterday. Cut 4.
It means winning for the American people, that either we win or whoever wins understands the priorities of the American people, and they are not what President Bush, I'm so sorry, President Bush. I never thought I'd pray for the day that you were president again.
Yikes. Again, don't let your kid try Botox. It's not good. It's not good for you. I don't care what they say. You can just see it for yourself, right? And when you listen to Nancy Pelosi talk. Let's see, who's that? Is that I don't know who. Rick, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Rick.
Hi, Howie.
Hi.
Before President Trump won, I was under the impression that there were no Democrats and Republicans. They were all in the same party. They were working for the lobbyists and the globalists. And I don't think anything's changed. The only one that's trying to do anything is Trump, and I don't hear boo out of the Republicans to support him on the sanctuary cities or any other aspect or topic.
I don't think they have any interest in it. I mean, Ryan, he's married to a woman who graduated from Wellesley College. He built a nice big wall around his house in Janesville, Wisconsin. So, he doesn't believe in a wall for us, but he believes in a wall for himself. How Mark Zuckerberg is it of him to do this,
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, like there's walls all over the country. There's walls around the White House. I bet you all these liberals have walls around their house.
How about the Vatican? Have you ever been to the Vatican? I mean, it's 50 feet tall at the Vatican, and they're talking about making it bigger. Bill de Blasio in New York City, he's got a wall around Gracie Mansion that he's making bigger and bigger. They made the wall around the White House bigger with when Obama was president. It's the walls are good for them, but not for us. We're xenophobes and nativists for wanting a wall, but for them it's just Oh, I didn't want the wall. The Secret Service insisted that I have this higher wall at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Oh, okay, yeah. Just there's some water coming down my back. What is it? Is it rain or is it something else? We'll be right back. We'll keep talking about this. I'm Howie Carr.
And now a bunch of random facts with Grace.
Donald Duck comics were banned from Finland because he doesn't wear pants. Pirates wore earrings because they believed it improved their eyesight. Cockroaches can live for several weeks with their heads cut off because their brains are located inside their body. More than 60,000 people are flying over the United States in an airplane right now. A church in the Czech Republic has a chandelier made entirely of human bones. Ooh. Our eyes are always the same size from birth, but our nose and ears never stop growing. The elephant is the only animal that can't jump. ATMs were originally thought to be failures because the only users were prostitutes and gamblers who didn't want to deal with tellers face to face. It takes about 3,000 cows to supply enough leather for the NFL for only 1 year.
This has been a bunch of random facts with Grace. Check out Grace's latest posts, pictures, and blogs at HowieCarrshow.com.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm telling you right now, it's awesome. I was trying to get my blood pressure regulated, okay? And after 3 days of taking this thing, my blood pressure went back down to normal. I am ecstatic. I am so happy with this stuff. It is my savior.
This was the first summer that I have not had to have a steroid shot to help me to breathe.
The reason why I'm taking it because I've got Hep C. Once I began taking your stuff, it took a few months, but believe it or not, my liver enzymes are way down and it's normal now. It works.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code TALK.
It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life, but I should have ordered it like 15 years ago.
The Howie Carr Show continues next.
And now, a bunch of random facts with Grace.
Donald Duck comics were banned from Finland because he doesn't wear pants. Pirates wore earrings because they believed it improved their eyesight. Cockroaches can live for several weeks with their heads cut off because their brains are located inside their body. More than 60,000 people are flying over the United States in an airplane right now. A church in the Czech Republic has a chandelier made entirely of human bones. Ooh. Our eyes are always the same size from birth, but our nose and ears never stop growing. The elephant is the only animal that can't jump. ATMs were originally thought to be failures because the only users were prostitutes and gamblers who didn't want to deal with tellers face to face. It takes about 3,000 cows to supply enough leather for the NFL for only 1 year.
This has been a bunch of random facts with Grace. Check out Grace's latest posts, pictures, and blogs at HowieCarrshow.com.
Hey guys, it's Grace from the Howie Carr Show. Gifts are always great, but who really needs more stuff? Let's be honest, between Christmas and the New Year, it's hard to come up with a nice way to give a great gift without just regifting that old fruitcake. But luckily, we have the perfect gift idea for you. It's the Howie Carr Show VIP experience. If someone you know is a fan of Howard Lawrence Carr, then this is the perfect way to celebrate any occasion. Come visit Howie in our brand new studio and watch the entire show. Best part? Well, if you were to ask Howie, he'd probably say the Kowloon. And I can't really disagree. But there is also no other way to see all the behind-the-scenes work that goes into New England's favorite radio show. Get your picture with Howie and a selfie with yours truly. We've had over 100 people enjoy the VIP experience, and the reviews have been stellar. We've even had the occasional guest on air to tell their own funny story to the listeners. So don't delay and buy your VIP experience today at HowieCarrshow.com. Click store. HowieCarrshow.com. Click store.
And now, 60 seconds of liberals freaking out over the election of Donald J. Trump.
Well, America is crying tonight. I'm not sure how much of America, but a very, very significant portion. And I mean literally crying.
Everybody is crying and so upset, and it is the end of their world.
Feels like the end of the world.
We were on Lifetime last night, and I was slowly getting drunk.
This is the time for real wisdom. Lightning round. I genuinely do not understand how America can be this disorganized or this hateful.
You know, she was Hillary Clinton, the most qualified candidate, the best suited for the job, the best temperament. Now we're hearing not a good candidate.
History is put on hold yet again.
They're scared, depressed, despaired, desperate even, almost clinging to me.
Plus the Supreme Court, who knows where that's going to go. So the only checks and balances we have are us, the View.
Trump derangement syndrome. It's a real thing, folks.
Hi, folks. In a world of GMO, genetically modified organisms, that is, chemicals, processed foods, and a healthcare system that's unraveling like a cheap suit, it's time to prepare. God created herbs, and herbs help man. Our body can heal itself, just sometimes we need assistance. You need some help? GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Our mild detox is quite powerful with its unique blend of 8 different herbs. And if you're looking for more, our non-GMO supplements will help you with different needs you might have. Health should be a top priority. Take care of your health naturally. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Give your body a treat. Let the herbs do their thing naturally. Read all the testimonies on the website, GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Sickness and viruses are like intruders, and herbs are like warriors. Let the tea work for you. That's GetTheTea.com.
We could play another commercial, or we could play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
I never attacked him on his look, and believe me, there's plenty of subject matter right there. That I can tell you.
But Jake, it's a massive plant, one of the biggest in the world. They're going to make all these cars, trucks, and parts. They're even making parts. It's so big, they'll make the parts, the trucks. And I actually gave them a good idea. Why don't we just let the illegals drive the cars and trucks right in through the border? They don't have to even, it's true. No, I gave them that. Save a lot of money. That'll be next. No, they'll be doing that next.
Who is Uma married to? One of the great sleazebags of our time. Anthony Weiner. Did you know that? She's married to Anthony Weiner. You know, the little bing, 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 bum, bum.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Hey guys, it's Grace from the Howie Carr Show. Gifts are always great, but who really needs more stuff? Let's be honest, between Christmas and the New Year, it's hard to come up with a nice way to give a great gift without just regifting that old fruitcake. But luckily, we have the perfect gift idea for you. It's the Howie Carr Show VIP experience. If someone you know is a fan of Howard Lawrence Carr, then this is the perfect way to celebrate any occasion. Come visit Howie in our brand new studio and watch the entire show. Best part? Well, if you were to ask Howie, he'd probably say the Kowloon. And I can't really disagree. But there is also no other way to see all the behind-the-scenes work that goes into New England's favorite radio show. Get your picture with Howie and a selfie with yours truly. We've had over 100 people enjoy the VIP experience, and the reviews have been stellar. We've even had the occasional guest on air to tell their own funny story to the listeners. So don't delay and buy your VIP experience today.
Better strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show.
Year after year, you pleaded for Washington to enforce our laws. As illegal immigration surged, refugees flooded in, and lax vetting threatened your family's safety and security. Your pleas have finally been... Oh, don't worry, we're going to have the wall. Don't worry about it.
That is absolutely racist. That's that dog whistling. That's saying to people, this is what is happening in America with you and all the problems that we have.
Live from an undisclosed location.
And they're still with him. They're not with you. Explain to me what that disconnection is.
Actually, I'm going to push back. I disagree with you. When you talk...
Well, his fans are not with you.
Hold on.
Come on.
When we
they
talk...
don't like you, Pocahontas.
Unchained and unstoppable.
That is the name that Donald Trump uses for Senator Elizabeth Warren, to the delight of people who apparently think Pocahontas is a Disney character. Pocahontas was a real person. And tonight, 400 years later, the President of the United States is trying to do Elizabeth Warren some hurt by throwing a name at her that was invented by Native Americans to protect a woman.
Who do you love? Howie Carr.
And that's the problem right now is we can look at a broken immigration system and you can look at illegal immigration. Well, there's no legal way for immigrants to actually enter this country. And these are people that want to work. They want to feed their families. They're fleeing really bad situations. And once they get here, they just contribute.
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
Who didn't know that Pocahontas was a real person? Who thought she was a Disney character? Give me a break. Just because Larry O'Donnell maybe didn't know she was a real person doesn't mean the rest of us are all MSNBC listeners. You know, MSNBC is where Elizabeth Warren went on the air and said that she didn't own any stocks, just some mutual funds. Remember that? Yeah. That's where Elizabeth Warren went on the air and said, I never said that I had supplied the intellectual foundations of the Occupy movement. And then they said, oh, really? Would you like to look at this video? And then, of course, she said, I supplied the ideological underpinnings, the intellectual foundations of the Occupy movement. So this is what their the big lie continues unabated here. 1-844-500-4242. Welcome to the Howie Carr Show today. If that's the number to call if you'd like to be with us today. 1-844-500-4242. As you know, the White House Correspondents' Dinner was Saturday night. We've decided to dispense with the greatest hits because there weren't any greatest hits. It was just dreadful.
I've actually got one clip that we can play that I think sums up the entire evening.
Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, I was going to thought it was poop. I thought it was poop, but it was just nothing. It was a nothing burger. It's too bad that Trump didn't announce that he's not going to be there for the next 3 years as well. And if he's reelected the next 7 years, he won't be there at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He was in Harrisburg, PA, the state capital of Pennsylvania, the state that he was not supposed to win, but he did, and I was glad to see him there. I think he made the right decision, no doubt about it. But there's been bad news last night. Looks like Trump got a bad budget deal, and again, let's not put too much onus on him for losing. This is just the last 6 months of FY, I guess 2017 in the federal budget. The budget runs out on September the 30th, and so now it's so it's going to be another 6 months, and the new year starts. Federal fiscal year 2018 starts on October 1st, and that's what they say they're waiting for. And this is just to keep the government running till then. But still, I mean, given the fact that there are more Republicans in the House of Representatives than at any time since the late 1920s, probably since Herbert Hoover or Calvin Coolidge were president, and given the fact that there is a majority of Republicans in the U.S. Senate and that Democrats are defending, I think, 2/3 of the seats in the 2018 elections, many of them in red states, many of them in states that Trump carried by more than 60% of the vote, given the fact that the Republicans controlled the White House, given the fact that the Republicans just put a strict constructionist on the Supreme Court, given the fact that Republicans control most of the state legislatures, control most of the governorships, you would think that the Republicans could get their way in a budget resolution. But apparently not. Apparently not. They didn't want a shutdown, a so-called shutdown. By the way, can we put shutdown in quotation marks? Because it's not really a shutdown. If there was really a shutdown, illegal aliens would be going to the supermarket today and saying, "Hey, I did not get reloaded with my SNAP benefits and my 10th benefits." That did not happen, did it? No, that did not happen. Everything is functioning as smoothly as it always functions, which in the case of the EBT cards is pretty smoothly, and in the case of normal governmental bureaucracy, it's not so smoothly. But there are explicit restrictions to block the border wall for another 6 months. I'm just reading here some of the greatest hits here from the budget agreement. Nancy Pelosi got another $300 million for welfare payments in Puerto Rico. There's no defunding of Planned Parenthood. He got half as much as of an increase as he said was needed for the Pentagon. And the Democrats are claiming victory here. The Democrats are claiming victory. The headline on FoxNews.com: spending bill language omits border wall funding, sanctuary cities crackdown. Bloomberg: overall, the compromise resembles more of an Obama administration-era budget than a Trump one. The AP, and again, I know these are all fake news outlets. A lowest common denominator measure that wouldn't look that much different than the deal that would have been struck on Obama's watch last year. Reuters: Democrats scored significant victories in the deal. LA Times: something of an embarrassment for the White House. New York Times: it gave I guess this is the key here in the New York Times. The deal should spare Republicans the embarrassment of seeing the government shut down on their watch. Why is it on their watch, by the way? Why, when it was shut down when Obama was president, the Republicans got blamed for it. Now there's a Republican president, and the New York Times and the rest of them were going to blame the Republicans anyway. But, says the New York Times, it also gave a glimpse of the reluctance of lawmakers to bend to Mr. Trump's spending priorities, like his desire for sharp cuts to domestic programs. Didn't you want sharp cuts to domestic programs? I mean, how much waste, fraud, and abuse is there out there in the domestic programs? I mean, we just saw it, with the conviction on Friday of Senator Menendez's buddy, the ophthalmologist who was running all this Medicare and Medicaid fraud down in Florida, and he was convicted on all counts. How much you think that's just a one-off deal? You think that was something that was an exception that proves the rule? I don't think so. 1-844-500-4242. At the bottom of the hour, we'll have Ann Coulter with us, and we'll talk to her about what happened in Berkeley last week, and also her take on this budget surrender, it looks like, by the Republicans in D.C., and who she blames for this. Dave, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, this is Pastor Dave. I filled in for you about a month ago, and it was a great honor, Howie.
Thank you, Dave.
Great honor. Hey, so the Republicans, when are we just going to learn? It's just good cop, bad cop. You come around for the election, they tell us how they're conservative, they want to live by the Constitution. They get into office, they work with their buddies, and it's a wink and a nod, and they stab the knife right in the back again and turn it. There's no excuse for what they did. And, it's just, it's maddening, my friend. I mean, at some point, the base is just going to not turn out anymore like they did after Republicans controlled the House and the Senate and the presidency under Bush.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just back and forth, my friend, and at some point, I don't know if it's going to be a revolution in this country or something, but it's just unbelievable to me.
I don't know. It's like we need a real party. Somebody in the first hour said it's like it's the uniparty down there. It's the I party, the incumbent party. And they're all on the same team. It's like the old you remember the old Roadrunner cartoons and the Wile E. Coyote and at the end of the cartoon they would both take their little time cards and they would check out and they would push it and then they'd leave together. I mean, that's the way it is, isn't it, Dave? I know they say there's no of the same kind of common courtesy and having cocktails after the sessions like there used to be, but it seems to me like it's the same old going on here. It's like Everett Dirksen and Bob Michael are still there in the Republican caucus.
It's mind-boggling, my friend, and I don't know if it's ever going to change, but I do think at some point we're going to have a convention of states or something because, they're working on that. At some point, it's just going to come to, we're so divided as a nation. You got these crazy people beating people up in the streets because they don't believe in what they believe in.
Yeah.
The Berkeley craziness. When are conservatives going to start fighting back? I think eventually there's going to be blood in the streets with these people.
I know there was more violence today in New York City. They're having the illegal aliens are having their march. Demanding more handouts, and they were fighting with Trump supporters on the street. They was just on Fox. At some point, you're right. At some point, the violence will start going the other way. I'm not espousing that, but you can't just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're the minority, and think that you're going to keep getting away with it. Thanks for the call, Pastor Dave. This half hour of the Howie Carr Show is powered by Captain Parker's Chowder. If you love New England clam chowder, I highly recommend Captain Parker's Chowder. I bought some yesterday at Market Basket. Find it at a supermarket near you. Thanks from the bottom of the bowl. I'm Howie Carr.
Hang on. The Howie Carr Show returns next.
5,318.
I have her in the same car with me?
Yeah.
With that nasty ring? I'm going to be walking home now,
The reading is 4,767. And here's a chart which explains what the different levels mean.
What'd you say mine was?
4,767.
So worse than filthy. I never imagined it would be dirtier than a toilet seat, so that's pretty disgusting. Oh my God. Oh my God!
Hi, this is David Bellman, inventor of the aquasonic wave. I've tested hundreds of rings, bracelets, earrings, and necklaces, and over 95% of the time, I get a bacteria reading higher than a public toilet seat. In addition to massive amounts of bacteria, the dirt and grime that builds up on your jewelry diminishes its beauty. Diamonds stop sparkling, colored gemstones look washed out and lifeless, gold and silver looks dull. Look, everything we wear in our bodies gets cleaned on a daily basis, except our jewelry. Why, you ask? It's simple. No one ever told us to clean it. We've been conditioned to put our jewelry on our bodies and forget about it. We need to break that nasty habit. We need to start cleaning our jewelry like we clean everything else we wear and everything we touch. And the Aquasonic Wave makes it so easy. First, place your jewelry in the Aquasonic Wave. It can hold up to 8 items of jewelry. Add 1 packet of antibacterial gel to kill 99% of all harmful bacteria. Now, place the wave on the top or bottom rack of your dishwasher with your dishes, and you're done. When the dishwasher stops, your jewelry is cleaned and sanitized with professional results. No extra equipment to plug in, no more scrubbing jewelry by hand. Simple, quick, and easy. Do this just once a week, and your jewelry will look new and be bacteria-free. Try the Wave for 30 days, and I guarantee you will love it. How can I be so sure? Well, that's easy. I've sold over 100,000 Aquasonic Waves, and not one single Aquasonic Wave has ever been returned.
Donald Trump.
I would never give up my microphone. I thought that was disgusting. That showed such weakness. The way he was taken away by two young women. The microphone, they just took the whole place over. That will never happen with me. I don't know if I'll do the fighting myself or if other people will. But that was a disgrace. The way I felt badly for him.
You're not supposed to say that somebody graduated last or second to last in their class, because you're supposed to be, like Frank says, very nice. Folks, I want to make America great again. We want to get down to brass tacks. We don't want to listen to his stuff with being politically correct and everything has... We have a lot of work to do.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
You've probably heard about all the great benefits of goat milk soap. But did you know some companies take shortcuts? At Old New England Soap, we make our organic goat's milk soap using 36% goat's milk. That's 17% more than most others. Our bars are larger, so they last longer, producing lots of lather packed with vitamins. And our soap is a natural moisturizer that smooths dry and damaged skin. Order online at oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. You've tried the rest. Now try the best. oldnesoap.com.
Water-based soaps on supermarket shelves use harsh chemical acids to break down dead skin cells. And that's just not good for you. At Old New England Soap, our soaps are made without chemical ingredients, contain no alcohol or petroleum products, and use 85% organic materials and carry the USDA's organic certification. Try some today. Go to oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. oldnesoap.com.
If your home has hard water, then it's likely that limescale is clogging your pipes, damaging your appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars each year. You can eliminate limescale in the entire house with HydroCare products available at Wave Home Solutions. Easy and efficient with no maintenance, no salts, no chemicals, and no coils. And you can buy with confidence from Wave Home Solutions. Performance guaranteed. Just go to bestwater411.com. That's bestwater411.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Want more Howie Carr? Listen 24/7 online at HowieCarrShow.com. Now, back to Howie Carr.
Today's poll question is brought to you by Casper Mattress. I love this warmer weather, or would if it ever got warm. But it can keep you from getting a quality night's sleep. A good mattress helps. I have the best. I have a Casper. Try yours for 100 nights risk-free. Go to Casper.com and use code Howie for $50 towards the purchase of your mattress. Terms and conditions apply. Steve, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Did the Republicans get rolled in budget negotiations?
I believe they did, yes.
It's up to 92% who say they got rolled, Howie.
All right. We've made an exciting change to my next Kennedy Babylon show. I'll be in Keene, New Hampshire on Saturday, May 20th instead of Friday, May 19th. We've joined forces with the Music for Heroes show. That's a live musical show to raise money for New Hampshire veterans. In addition to my Kennedy Babylon show, there will be 4 great musical acts. All ticket sales go towards New Hampshire veterans. The best part, you can name your own ticket price starting at $10. Give as much as you want. I'll see you in Keene for this exciting event on Saturday, May 20th in Keene, New Hampshire at the Colonial Theater. Go to HowieCarrShow.com and click Kennedy Babylon to buy tickets and for more information. And you can also buy my book, Kennedy Babylon, at HowieCarrShow.com. And right now, if you buy the book, you will get a free Kennedy Babylon t-shirt with the book, which is normally a $19.99 value. So you're getting a t-shirt for free. along with the book for $19.99 plus shipping and handling. I hope you'll take advantage of it. It's a good deal. Or you can order the book, as always, at Amazon.com. Go to Howie Carr Show and click on just go to Amazon.com and click on Kennedy Babylon, and you can buy the book there. But you don't get the free T-shirt if you buy it at Amazon. 1-844-500-4242. Did the Republicans get rolled on this deal? Again, it's only 5 months. I understand that. And on the other hand, why can't we get what we want now? What do we want? Power. When do we want it now? You know, and the texter says, why do we keep calling these domestic programs when so much of the money now goes to foreigners in all of these programs? That's a very good point as well. Very good point. 1-844-500-4242. Luke, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Luke.
How's it going, Howie?
Hi. Good.
It seems like every season or every election, the one side makes it sound like they're giving everything that they have, and the Republican side is they're made out to be monsters or something, and they're taking money from babies.
Right.
When are people going to wake up? It's really silly, and who writes? Is it the backers that have these Republicans with their hands behind their backs?
I think, Luke, the Republicans to a large degree are concerned about these sob stories that are always written. Whenever there's a budget cut, they talk about, they're breaking up families. This gangbanger wants to be with his mom, so how can we send him back to Mexico? And we've cut the EPA budget, and now there's not going to be a pony at the kids. At the kids' kindergarten show and all this kind of stuff. And it's just nothing but sob stories, Luke. And it's just silly because who the hell is even reading or paying attention to these to this stupid nonsense that the media is putting out anymore? I don't think anybody is.
Who's writing these bills? Who's on K Street?
Well, I mean,
I heard earlier today. I was listening, and it seems like somebody has these Republicans bent over.
Well, I think the Republicans, bend over voluntarily. They just the Republicans don't want any trouble. If anybody gives them a dirty look, forget even snarling at them, they go into the fetal position and crawl under the desk. And unfortunately, there are very few Republicans who seem to have a backbone. Where's the spine of these people? Why are they afraid of some nitwit on network newscast that nobody under the age of 90 watches, saying that they've allowed the Washington Monument to shut down? Who gives a bleep? Really? Thanks for the call, Luke. Mark, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Mark.
Just to answer your question quick, Howie, they're Democrats. That's why they care, because they're Democrats. And Trump needs to start writing his own legislation and then going out explaining the legislation at rallies and talking over the heads of the press and the Congress and getting the American people to call the Congress and start making them accountable for their votes. This budget is the same capitulation that happened after the last midterm election when they gave Obama everything he asked for without a fight.
Yeah, they did. You're absolutely right. And they had the majority then in the House anyway, And
we're still living with parts of that continuing resolution today. Trump has nothing to do with what's going on right now. This is just Republicans not fighting. And you never lose. Trump showed us you never lose when you fight.
Yeah, I know. And you're not going to make friends with these people. They're not... None of the people that hate him, the resistance is not going to come over to his way of thinking because Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell got rolled. They're like dogs. They're more emboldened because they know there's fear. I'm Howie Carr.
Play another commercial, or we could play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
CNN is terrible. CNN. You're with CNN? Are you with CNN? You people do not cover us accurately at all. So what I'm going to do is span out Span out. Show them the crowd, press. Show them the crowd. Show them the crowd. Look, they're not turning the cameras. They don't even turn the cameras. They don't even turn the cameras because you know what? They're very dishonest people. Frankly, I don't even think they give a damn about education, half of them. And I'm sure some maybe do. Use that word in this form. I will. Because people want to hear the truth, Frank. Here we are in the middle of a deal, and he doesn't call about that. One sentence, I'd say, you got to, before we start, get those people back. Used to be 3, now it's 4. Get those people. They'd be back the next hour.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
I'm getting older and noticing that my body just doesn't work as well as it used to. So I like to keep fit as possible by hitting the gym a few times a week. Recently, I started having a nagging bicep pain, and it got so bad I couldn't even lift the weights. When I was complaining about it to a friend, he told me about Angioprim. He said chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in veins and arteries that may cause blockages. You know, after just 1 week of taking Angioprim, the pain was gone, and now I'm back in the gym full strength. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. So to learn more, go to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com, or talk to a trained consultant. Call Angioprim toll free at 877-882-7221. You'll feel better with more energy. Call 877-882-7221 or go to the website angioprim.com. PatriotPrepared.com carries the leading brands of storable food from Numana, Legacy, and Heaven's Harvest. Patriot Prepared. Our name says it all. We're dedicated to empowering you to be self-reliant and confident in any circumstance. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or you're an outdoor sports enthusiast, PatriotPrepared.com has prepackaged meals and kits for your entire family. Legacy, Heaven's Harvest, and Numana are known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. Simple to prepare, easy to store, gluten-free and organic high-quality nutrition options with a 25-year shelf life. You can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. So go to PatriotPrepared.com right now to pick up your supply of high-quality storable food for your family, because it makes good sense to be prepared. That's PatriotPrepared.com.
And now, 6 fun facts in 60 seconds with Grace Curley.
A hummingbird weighs less than a penny. The founders of Google were willing to sell Google for $1 million to Excite in 1999, but Excite turned them down. Google is now worth $527 billion. On average, 12 newborns will be given to the wrong parents daily. There are no clocks in Las Vegas gambling casinos. Sea otters hold hands while they sleep so they won't drift apart. Aww. Do you ever wonder where the phrase, "it's raining cats and dogs" comes from? In the 17th century, many homeless cats and dogs would drown and float down the streets of England, making it look like it literally rained cats and dogs.
This has been 6 fun facts with Grace Curley in 60 seconds. Check out Grace's latest posts, pictures, and tweets at HowieCarrShow.com.
You've listened to him for years. Now watch him in HD. Click on the Howie Cam at HowieCarrShow.com. This is the Howie Carr Show.
This half hour of the Howie Carr Show is powered by General Communications. Not all cloud-based business telephone systems are created equal. Don't settle for just any system. Modern times call for modern solutions. Do what I did and call General Communications. They'll design the perfect cloud-based phone system from ShoreTel. ShoreTel, brilliantly simple. Call 1-800-4-GENERAL or click on the General Communications ad at HowieCarrShow.com. Joining us now on the newsline is Ann Coulter, the New York Times bestselling author of many books, including In Trump We Trust, E Pluribus Awesome. Ann, thanks for being with us here on the Howie Carr Show.
Sure, good to talk to you, Howie.
Listen, why do you keep going on shows like The View? I mean, what good can possibly come out of going on The View? And
I had a lovely time today.
With Joy Behar?
I've always liked Joy. I met her on Politically Incorrect. I think she's hilarious. She's a stand-up comedian first, and she had that show on CNN, and she brought me on all the time to debate politics. But mostly, she was just funny. She's very funny. I like funny people.
So were you happy about being on your appearance today on The View?
Yeah, I mean, it was actually kind of unfortunate that we had, there was such peace and harmony reigning on the set, because we get a lot more press when it's a cat fight, but there was really no cat fighting today. I defended the Emperor God, Trump, talked about Berkeley, and the wall and how he's going to get Mexico to pay for it. But you don't see it trending on Twitter as it does whenever we have a fight. I feel like I let them down.
Well, listen, let's talk about Berkeley. I mean, I kind of understand. I think I would have made the same decision as you, because I didn't want to get anybody hurt at this thing. But on the other hand, I
didn't make that decision. No, I wanted to go. My allies backed down.
So your allies, the college Republicans, basically, right?
Well, and Washington's YAF, but I mean, obviously, Berkeley is the prime mover here. They were the ones who kept changing their position every 5 minutes, and requiring me to speak in a hot air balloon over the campus at 3 a.m. But we were about to win. I mean, the whole country was against Berkeley. And my allies blinked. And when I don't have anybody going in. I don't have YAF, Young Americans Foundation. They sponsor college students, and I like them. They're nice people. Like talking to them, but they blinked. And I, over my strenuous objections and attempts to get another lawyer and another funding source, which I did, but they prohibited the Berkeley College Republicans from using my lawyer and my funding. So there was nothing I could do at that point. Found out after midnight on, I guess, Tuesday night.
What should the Republicans in Washington do about this? I mean, this is a publicly funded college, and even places like Middlebury and Claremont McKenna,
right?
They get a lot of federal money.
Right.
I mean, why can't the purse strings just be cut to these colleges if they're not going to allow free speech?
Well, it's more than that. This is just the flashpoint of it right now, but tuition has gone up by 3,000% since the 70s. Is the education any better, Howie? I would say it is considerably worse.
Absolutely.
What happened was, ironically, out of Berkeley, this free speech movement. I'm so sick of hearing about that. Yeah, the communists wanted free speech in the 60s. They got it. They took over the universities, and that's the end of free speech. Now, I would be afraid sending a young man to college these days. He could be falsely accused of rape, expelled, have his reputation destroyed with no due process. We saw what happened with Mattress Girl at Columbia. You have just outrageous discrimination against conservative students there. We've known this for a long time. And what are they learning? They're learning, how to spot sexist images in Shakespeare. I don't know anyone, even back when I went to college, and it wasn't as insane as it is now, I don't know anyone who thinks, wow, I sure learned a lot at college. It's just this parchment inflation where you have, well, at least the former president of the United States and all these politicians and all the media and elites saying, you have to get a college degree, Why? Why? To take the SATs, get a good score, maybe get a college admission letter, and present that to your future employer and save yourself $200,000.
So, Ann, let's move on then from Berkeley and talk about this budget deal. I mean, there's no money in this deal. I mean, I know it. Again, I know it's only for 5 months, but there's no money here for the wall for 5 months. I mean, you were talking last week. If there's no wall, then that's a government shutdown. What do you make of what happened in D.C. last night?
Well, boy, Trump could use some allies in Washington. But instead, I mean, like me with the Young Americans Foundation, all the alleged allies are trying to undermine Trump. They may be nice, they may shake his hand and smile, and then they go back to their offices and instantly start trying to undermine everything he's doing. They do. I think Trump will learn this pretty soon, but I think Trump should have insisted on a vote. Let's get a vote on the wall. Let's see who votes against a wall, and let the primary opponent, in the case of Republicans, or the Republican opponents, in the case of Democrats, let them have that as an issue for anybody who votes against the wall. I would love that as an issue if I were running against any of these guys.
But Paul Ryan doesn't want a wall any more than Nancy Pelosi wants a wall.
That's what I just said. I think that would be very exactly. No, you weren't listening. That's exactly what I just said. The primary opponent, Paul Nealon, who primaried Paul Ryan, with my help, I might add.
Right.
I think that would be a good issue to present to the voters in Paul Ryan's district, because all of these politicians, Republicans and Democrats, lie to us and claim they want a border, but they do not want a border. That is what they're saying. No, this isn't like the typical government shutdown where Democrats can say, whether or not it's true, oh, you're starving children from Social Security or Medicare. No, if they want to shut the government down because they refuse to build a wall, fine, let them run on that. Let's put that to a vote. That's what Trump should have done. And I might add, he doesn't need Congress. He's the commander-in-chief. It's his job to defend the borders. That would be the borders of the United States, Howie, not the borders of Ukraine. All of the money he has as the commander-in-chief in the Department of Defense, as well as Department of Homeland Security, that could all go for a wall, and that would be like 0.01% of the Department of Defense's budget.
So are you disappointed that he let Sean Spicer go out today and say, "Oh, this isn't a bad deal, and we'll kick the can down the road, and we'll be back to play in 5 months"? Do you think he should be out there, doing live shots today, thundering about how he's been stabbed in the back by the Republican leadership in Congress? I mean, is that what you would like to see him doing, the president?
No, what I'd like to see him doing is flying to the border with a hard hat and a spade and start building the wall. That's what I want to see. And if we don't get a wall, Republicans are going to be wiped out in the midterm elections, and he's not going to get anything done. And come 3 years from now, he'll be explaining why he's not running for re-election, because there's no way he'd win re-election if he doesn't build a wall. Now, I think he's still going to build a wall. He's got to get used to the ways of Washington, and he's got to recognize that he's being undermined at every turn. And I mean, he understood this during the campaign. He was such a fantastic candidate. He didn't care when everyone was screaming bloody murder. He was the only candidate who understood Americans want a wall on the border. Keep pushing that issue. It's not tax cuts. He didn't run on tax cuts. What good are tax cuts for people who don't have jobs? Americans want jobs. He didn't particularly run on, though he was going to repeal Obamacare. So far, all we're doing is the Paul Ryan agenda.
Yeah, why didn't he get rid of Paul?
Let's get back to the Trump agenda.
And why didn't he get rid of Paul Ryan? I mean, Paul Ryan, after the Billy Bush Access Hollywood tape, Paul Ryan walked away from him. He abandoned him in the midst of combat. In a foxhole, he ran away. He threw down his weapon and ran away. And now he's done it again. Why didn't Trump get rid of him after the election, or at least try to get rid of him? I mean, I know the president doesn't have total power, but he could have at least said I don't like you, boy. I mean, what would be wrong with saying something like that?
I don't know. I don't even know who these congressmen were. He was threatening at the rally. Was it yesterday or I guess Saturday in Pennsylvania? But he mentioned them by name at a big rally, saying, I'm going to go after them if they don't get this, by the way, really, really awful Obamacare repeal through. Why won't they just let me buy health care on the free market? Why can't Republicans do that, Howie?
I don't know. I mean, and what they're going to say is, and I'm sure they're already saying this on other shows, and they're going to be saying it tonight on the news, the cable news channels. Well, the wall, we can afford to wait for 5 months because the illegal border crossings are already down 75%. Right? That's what they're going to say. How do you respond to that?
Well, the reason they're down is not because of one thing the Trump administration has done, it is because of Trump's rhetoric and Trump's rhetoric alone. I was hoping no one would notice that. Now that it's been noticed and pointed out in the Washington Post today, we could get another surge once the message gets communicated. I mean, yes, Sessions is fantastic. He's doing lots of stuff, but he can't do it alone. That is why we have a Homeland Security Secretary, and he's not doing a thing, that General Kelly.
Listen, I'm going to ask you about Fox News Channel. Bill Shine, he's a good guy. I know him, and he's a very decent person. And he was forced out today as head of Fox News Channel, and it looks like the Murdoch sons are succeeding in remaking Fox in their own image as a somewhat more touchy-feely type network. What's your take on what's happening at Fox News Channel? First Ailes, then O'Reilly, and now Bill Shine.
That is not my take at all. It could end up being what happens, but so far I really like the changes. Replacing Bill O'Reilly with Tucker Carlson. Oh my gosh, if James Murdoch is responsible for this, I would like to send him champagne and flowers. They replace some triangulating moderate with someone who's actually really smart, really telegenic, charming, puts on a fantastic TV show. I mean, a lot of I never worked at Fox, so I don't particularly know Ailes or Shine. I don't know what they did or what they didn't do, but I would have made that programming change 10 years ago. So I think people shouldn't be worried yet. It's looking good to me when they move Tucker Carlson to 8 p.m.
What about Megyn Kelly? Her first interview for NBC is going to be with the Kardashians. What does that tell you, Ann?
I will probably have preferred her on Fox News. Not much interest in the Kardashians.
But are you interested in Megyn Kelly? Let me put it that. Let me ask that as
I
a follow-up.
I liked her show.
But she was really. I mean, you talk about someone going after Trump, though, Ann. I mean, she's the 180 degrees removed from you in terms of liking Donald J. Trump.
Well, okay, you're right about that. Let's exclude the anti-Trump stuff. She did hear the siren song of mainstream media fawning.
Good way to put it.
If you will just attack Trump.
Yes.
But
you'll never have to buy another drink in this town again. Yes.
But apart from that, and you'll remember, and by the way, this goes to my point that Fox News is going to get better under new management, or what appears to be new management, if this is the direction they're going in. Up until the whole Trump thing, we'll leave that aside. That was a separate thing going on. She had a great show. And remember, the Murdochs are allegedly, all I know is what I read in the paper. Again, I do not work at Fox News. None of this is insider information. I've met Ailes, at Geraldo's wedding and at Rush Limbaugh's house. I've never run into him at Fox News because I'm a guest. I don't work there. But what we read in the newspapers was that James and Lachlan really wanted to keep Megyn and were willing to offer her $20 million a year. And apart from the tangling with Trump, I thought she was a really great host. Again, better than O'Reilly.
Not an O'Reilly fan, huh, Ann? I used to work with O'Reilly. I know most of these people. I like them. I'm sorry they're gone. I really am. That's from a personal perspective.
I think we're probably a lot of the hysteria coming from within Fox News is more about who had formed power coalitions with which people, and they figured, I'm in with this management person. But in terms of the viewers, if you don't happen to work at Fox News, and I don't, in terms of viewers, so far I like the changes.
All right, Ann Coulter, we appreciate you being with us, and the title of your book is In Trump We Trust.
In Trump We Trust, E Pluribus Awesome.
And in case Antifa or whatever they call themselves are listening, where's your next college appearance going to be, Ann?
I don't think I have one scheduled now. I think exams are coming up. Maybe Harvard. I always liked Harvard.
Take the red line there, Ann. It's easier to get. You don't have to worry about a parking space.
I don't think they would protest. They're smarter.
Oh yeah, they're really smart at Harvard University. As someone who used to live in Harvard Square, that's they're overrated more than somewhat, Ann, as you well know. Ann Coulter, the author of In Trump We Trust, thanks for being with us here on the Howie Carr Show. I'm Howie Carr.
Don't move. Howie Carr is back next.
Hello out there. Incredibly bad Christopher Walken impersonator here. I asked my friends at Matthews Brothers, after 163 years, how do you still stay inspired? They said, every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up. It knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve. Some days you're the lion, some days the gazelle. It doesn't matter. When the sun comes up, you'd better be running. So every day up there in Belfast, they lace up their boots and hit the ground running. There are no shortcuts to success. And in a world where mediocre is the new normal, it's good to know someone still remembers this. You can see the results of this singular commitment to wicked awesomeness, but only at better lumber yards and window professionals or on the web at MatthewsBrothers.com. Matthews Brothers with one T, America's oldest window manufacturer.
One reader, James, says Kennedy Babylon was a wonderful, nostalgic, amusing trip down memory lane. Beth says she bought her husband a copy of Kennedy Babylon and he loves it. Now it's your turn. Read the stories of the Kennedy's scandalous century in the public eye in Howie Carr's latest book, Kennedy Babylon. Order online today at HowieCarrshow.com. Click Kennedy Babylon. And when you order today, we'll throw in a free Kennedy Babylon t-shirt featuring the colorful Kennedy caricatures found on the cover of Kennedy Babylon. Order Kennedy Babylon today and get your free Kennedy Babylon t-shirt. HowieCarrshow.com. Click Kennedy Babylon.
Help me defeat Elizabeth Warren. My name is Jeff Deal. I'm a father, husband, concerned taxpayer, and the state representative who led the successful effort to repeal automatic gas tax hikes, saving you $2 billion. As a U.S. Senator, you don't throw the police force under the bus to score political points, you don't put illegal immigrants ahead of law-abiding citizens, and you don't neglect the people who elected you. If you want to defeat Elizabeth Warren, then go to dealforsenate.com. That's DIEHL for Senate.com. I'm Jeff Deal, and I approve this message. Paid for and authorized by Deal for U.S. Senate.
We could play another commercial, or we could just play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
And by the way, they're coming from all over the world, including the Middle East. Why not? Come on in. We're stupid. We'll take care of you. We'll pay. Get sick, we'll take care of your hospitalization. What kind of a plan do you want? Oh, Don, you're a little controversial. You're talking about illegal immigration. I said it's illegal. The premiums are going through the roof. The deductibles, frankly, you have to get hit with a Komatsu tractor in order to use them. They're so high. The Iranians are great negotiators. The Persians are great negotiators. And we have people that are babies. It's like a chess player, grandmaster, playing against a checkers child. We have very stupid people in our country negotiating for us, and we have leaders that don't know what they're doing. And the media, look at all those people back there. Scavengers, they're like scavengers.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Hi, this is Andrea from Ever So Humble Pie Company in East Walpole. Well, it's that time of year when comfort food is king. And now, in addition to our delectable dessert pies, we're offering home-style classics like chicken pot pie, shepherd's pie, and Canadian meat pie. Simply turn on your oven and you'll have a wholesome, hearty meal. Pick up a fruit pie while you're here, and you've got dinner and dessert from Ever So Humble Pie Company. For more information, call us at 508-660-9731 or visit us at eversohumble.com. That's eversohumble.com.
It's here, Howie Carr's latest book, Kennedy Babylon, A Century of Depravity and Scandal. Kennedy Babylon is a whirlwind tour of scandals from the days of the Kennedy clan's rabidly anti-Semitic patriarch to the death of JFK Jr. Ann Coulter says Howie Carr is making Kennedy books great again. You'll love the never-before-seen images of the Kennedy family in Howie Carr's latest book, Kennedy Babylon, A Century of Depravity and Scandal. Now shipping. Order today at HowieCarrshow.com. Click Kennedy Babylon.
Would odors, mold, and mildew describe your basement or crawl space? It doesn't have to be that way. Transform them into a fresh, healthy, usable one with the technologically advanced Wave moisture control units. The computerized operation maximizes moisture control and also expels harmful radon, combustion gases, and numerous other pollutants. Dehumidifiers are old technology that do nothing for air quality and waste energy. Wave units are intelligent, self-monitoring, do not need maintenance, and will save you hundreds in electricity. Wave units are still running effectively over 15 years. They've been tested and installed in public and military housing and by property managers nationwide. Buy a unit now, and if your home is not fresher and drier, you can return it for a full refund for up to 12 months. What have you got to lose? Call now. 1-888-618-WAVE. 1-888-618-WAVE. Or visit mydryhome.com. That's mydryhome.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Send Howie a text to 680-680. This is the Howie Carr Show.
I know, I respect Ann's viewpoint, but I really think Shine's going to be missed at Fox. I mean, he's the son of a New York City cop. I mean, he's been with Sean Hannity since day one. He's from Long Island. He's one of us. He's just a really decent guy, and I think he was scapegoated here. And I'm sorry he's gone. I'm sorry O'Reilly's gone. Because like I said, I work with O'Reilly here at Channel 7. I know who he is, and it's just it's too bad. I hope Fox continues down the way they have been in the past 2 decades, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this is what the Republicans and especially Donald Trump are up against. Comrade Chris Matthews was on Meet the Press yesterday, and he admitted what the media has been doing to Trump. And I'm afraid Fox is now going to jump on the bandwagon. Cut 3.
Every time I look at a poll, I go, wait a minute, more people voted for him than admit they voted for him. And that's what's going on. And before the election, that was true. I think it's about attitude. I think last night, by not going to the press dinner and going to Harrisburg, he expressed his defiance of us.
Good.
And it goes over very well. It's not about where do you stand on China. And again, too intellectual. It's about attitude. As we say in Philly, attitude. I like her, but I'm not hiring her because she's got attitude. Yeah. But I think attitude is what people feel about this guy. He's still screwing us. He's still saying, the hell with you guys. Yeah. And he's still saying things that we know isn't true. And I think his people know
What do you mean?
This stuff isn't true. But they love this, like Fair and Balanced. Remember that? Nobody at Fox who watched Fox thought it was Fair and Balanced. But they love the way these guys would say
Unlike
fair
MSNBC. Unlike MSNBC. Now, MSNBC is really fair and balanced, right? That's what and what is this we stuff? You and us aren't the same thing, Comrade Chris. I'm Howie Carr.
We could play another commercial, or we could play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
John McCain goes, oh boy, Trump makes my life difficult. He had 15,000 crazies show up. Crazies. He called them all crazy. I said, they weren't crazy. They were great Americans. These people, if you would have seen these people, I know what crazy is. I know all about crazies. These weren't crazy. So he insulted me, and he insulted everybody in that room. And I said, somebody should run against John McCain, who has been, in my opinion, not so hot. And I supported him. I supported him for president. I raised $1 million for him. It's a lot of money. I supported him. He lost. He let us down. But, he lost. So I never liked him as much after that, because I don't like losers. And the poll just came out, and I'm tied with Jeb Bush. And I said, oh, that's too bad. How can I be tied with this guy? He's terrible. He's terrible.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Hey there. Quick question for you. Would you be okay with more energy, more endurance, thicker, healthier hair, a better mood, reduced appearance of wrinkles, improved sleep, improved blood pressure and cholesterol profiles, improved vision, improved memory? Okay then. Well now, have you heard of Nature's Youth RSF? It's from the anti-aging experts at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. See, at Nature's Youth, they understand exactly what it means to provide top-quality health products. And Nature's Youth customers not only improve their health, they know they're also providing their body with the right nourishment to maintain that peak performance and fight the aging process. If health, wellness, and nutrition are what you desire, choose Nature's Youth RSF. I did. You see, you're going to get older. It's just up to you how you feel when you get there. Get started today. Nature's Youth RSF. Simple to use, simple to order. Go to nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com.
The Howie Carr Show continues next. We could play another commercial, or we could play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
John McCain goes, oh boy, Trump makes my life difficult. He had 15,000 crazies show up. Crazies. He called them all crazy. I said, they weren't crazy. They were great Americans. These people, if you would have seen these people, I know what crazy is. I know all about crazies. These weren't crazy. So he insulted me, and he insulted everybody in that room. And I said, somebody should run against John McCain, who has been, in my opinion, not so hot. And I supported him. I supported him for president. I raised $1 million for him. It's a lot of money. I supported him. He lost. He let us down. But, he lost. So I never liked him as much after that, because I don't like losers. And the poll just came out, and I'm tied with Jeb Bush. And I said, oh, that's too bad. How can I be tied with this guy? He's terrible. He's terrible.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Hey there, quick question for you. Would you be okay with more energy, more endurance, thicker, healthier hair, a better mood, reduced appearance of wrinkles, improved sleep, improved blood pressure and cholesterol profiles, improved vision, improved memory? Okay then. Well now, have you heard of Nature's Youth RSF? It's from the anti-aging experts at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. See, at Nature's Youth, they understand exactly what it means to provide top-quality health products. And Nature's Youth customers not only improve their health, they know they're also providing their body with the right nourishment to maintain that peak performance and fight the aging process. If health, wellness, and nutrition are what you desire, choose Nature's Youth RSF. I did. You see, you're going to get older. It's just up to you how you feel when you get there. Get started today. Nature's Youth RSF. Simple to use, simple to order. Go to nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com.
We could play another commercial, or we could just play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
And the poll just came out, and I'm tied with Jeb Bush. And I said, oh, that's too bad. How can I be tied with this guy? He's terrible. He's terrible. So Uma is getting classified secrets. She's married to Anthony Weiner, who's a perv. No, he is. I beat the people from China. I win against China. You can win against China if you're smart. But our people don't have a clue. And then the next day, he'll be called by special interests that supported him, his lobbyists who push him around like a piece of candy. We have heads being chopped off because they're Christian in the Middle East. We have borders where people are being killed all up. The world is cracking up, and they're worried about my tone.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Hi, this is Howie Carr, attorney at law. Are you a white male who voted for Donald Trump? Do you have a Make America Great sweatshirt or a hat? Have you had a beer since November the 8th? If you answered yes to one or more of the above questions, there's a good chance that you are soon going to be charged with committing a fake hate crime. Will you be ready, you uneducated redneck? When you get charged with committing a fake hate crime, will you be ready? You need reasonable doubt at a reasonable price. And that's where Howie Carr, attorney at law, Esquire, comes in. Call me at 1-800-FAKE-HRC. 1-800-FAKE-HRC, and we will get you some legal insurance for when it inevitably occurs and you're charged with a fake hate crime.
We could play another commercial, or we could play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
So the Mexican government is not happy with me, to put it mildly. And again, I respect Mexico, but their leaders are too smart for our leaders because we have stupid leaders, okay? You mean it's not politically correct, and yet everybody uses it? So you know what? Give me a different term. Give me a different term. What else would you like to say? Oh, you want me to say that? Okay. No, I'll use the word anchor baby. Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. They dunk people with a cage. Did you see that? They dunk them and drown them. These people make Saddam Hussein look like a choir boy. I know Anthony Weiner for a long time. I knew before they caught him with the bing, 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 right? And he was a bad guy then. It turned out that he was a really bad guy. I beat the people from China. I win against China. You can win against China if you're smart. But our people don't have a clue.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Many legislators claim to be for lower taxes and government transparency, but are they really? Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance keeps you informed by posting the voting records of our elected officials. You can log on to our website at massfiscal.org. Click Scorecard to see how your legislator is voting on Beacon Hill. And while you're there, make a donation. And be sure to join our email list so you can stay up to date with the latest information on what's happening at the State House with Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance.
Paid for by the Mass Fiscal Alliance, Rick Green, Chairman.
Hi, I'm Howie Carr, and I'm here with Rick Green of the Mass Fiscal Alliance. Wow, Mass Fiscal is really driving the Moonbats crazy.
Who knew putting voting records online would be so controversial? Many legislators claim to be for lower taxes and government transparency, but they sure don't vote that way.
Your group is just what this state needs. How can the listeners help you guys?
Just have them visit our website at www.massfiscal.org.
Better strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show.
Year after year, you pleaded for Washington to enforce our laws. As illegal immigration surged, refugees flooded in, and lax vetting threatened your family's safety and security. Your pleas have finally been... Oh, don't worry, we're going to have the wall. Don't worry about it.
That is absolutely racist. That's that dog whistling. That's saying to people, this is what is happening in America with you and all the problems that we have.
Live from an undisclosed location.
And they're still with him. They're not with you. Explain to me what that disconnection is.
Actually, I'm going to push back. I disagree with you. When you talk...
Well, his fans are not with you.
Hold on.
Come on.
When we
talk... I don't like you, Pocahontas.
Unchained and unstoppable.
That is the name that Donald Trump uses for Senator Elizabeth Warren, to the delight of people who apparently think Pocahontas is a Disney character. Pocahontas was a real person. And tonight, 400 years later, the President of the United States is trying to do Elizabeth Warren some hurt by throwing a name at her that was invented by Native Americans to protect a woman.
Who do you love? Howie Carr.
And that's the problem right now is we can look at a broken immigration system and you can look at illegal immigration. Well, there's no legal way for immigrants to actually enter this country. And these are people that want to work. They want to feed their families. They're fleeing really bad situations. And once they get here, they just contribute.
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
Once they get here, they just contribute. They're contributing to the murder rate in Suffolk County on Long Island. The MS-13 gangbangers killed four people, four teenagers there a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, they're contributing all right. 1-844-500-4242. That is the toll-free number if you'd like to join us here this afternoon, every weekday afternoon. And if you'd like to take part in our Trump line, just press 2 when you get to 844-500-4242. You can leave a recorded voicemail message, and we may or may not play it at this time each weekday on the Chump Line. The Chump Line is brought to you by Matthews Brothers, whose Maine-made windows are available only through better lumber yards and window professionals like Bell Tate's Building Supply, with locations throughout southern New Hampshire and northern Massachusetts. Bell Tate's is only a short ride from you. Visit our friendly stores or shop online at belltates.com.
Oh, Howard, they're coming to open up your pool today.
Aren't you just a working man living on the jagged edge of the middle class?
Actually, I'm living on the ragged edge of the ice on the pool is what I'm living on right now. I just mentioned it because it would seem like it was a good way to get into the fact that the weather is not really very spring-like here on May Day, is it?
Bill Maher calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. Do you think he's crossing over? Boy, what a convert that would be.
How can she have embarked on a book tour? I know she never leaves the left-wing, very fake news media precincts, but still, shouldn't she have a comeback when somebody calls her Pocahontas? She doesn't, though. She doesn't. And by the way, my column is on Town Hall mentioning the fact that Donald Trump seems to know more about her background than all of her defenders on the left, in the alt-left fake news media. I mean, they're still pretending that she's part Indian, and if you call her out on it, you're a racist. How can that be? How do they not know anything about what has transpired? Even Wikipedia has a fairly objective take on her fake Indian heritage.
What's the matter with those climate change people in Colorado? Don't they like to march in the snow?
Did you listen to the climate change radio reports on Saturday? I happened to be driving around up to New Hampshire to go to the book signings in Claremont and Swansea. Supporters of climate change braved sweltering heat in D.C. Sweltering heat in D.C. No mention of the snowstorms that this guy just mentioned in Denver, Colorado. It's funny how it always works out that way. Some places are sweltering and some places there's snowstorms. Some places there's a drought. Other places like Oroville, California, the dam, there's a flood, right? But you never hear about the flood, do you? You just hear about the drought. You never hear about the blizzard in Colorado. You just hear about the sweltering heat in D.C.
Hey, Howie's major disappointment with Trump is not the wall's delay, but that the only job Trump offered Howie at Mar-a-Lago was not maitre d', but the job of restocking the urinal cakes.
Restocking the urinal cakes. This guy's obviously not worked in the hospitality industry. That's not a full-time job. You know, you have other duties. You know, you can be the bus boy in addition to handling the urinal cakes. You can be the glass boy at the bar. There's a lot of other things you can do. You can help out down in the loading dock. I'm keeping my options open. I'm holding out for Byrne is not getting any younger. I'm going to get that maitre d's job sooner or later.
When they passed the omnibus spending bill in December 2015, Paul Ryan rolled over and gave President Obama everything he asked for. It's too bad he can't show such deference to the current president.
Boy, that is really a good point. That is an excellent point. He showed more. He showed less deference to Donald Trump's wishes than he showed to Obama, less than 2 years ago.
Paul Ryan looks like Eddie Munster and acts like Eddie Haskell.
Eddie Haskell was amusing in his own way, the guy on Leave It to Beaver. Paul Ryan is just exasperating and infuriating, as far as I'm concerned.
Sorry, Donald. If this budget is what winning looks like, I'd sure hate to see what losing looks like.
What they used to say in Brooklyn every October after they lost to the Yankees in the World Series, wait till next year. Wait till October. That's what they're saying. It's 5 months away. October 1st, 5 months away.
Welcome to the swamp, Mr. President.
Yeah. A lot of copperheads and water moccasins and rattlers and maybe even a coral snake or two.
Oh, back during the Cold War, it really was a gas. The soldiers marched on Red Square and all the tanks would pass. Brezhnev and his one eyebrow surveying the whole shtick.
Guess May Day was a heyday for a loyal Bolshevik.
You know, it used to be, this is how old I am. I remember when May Day the workers would march. Now it's illegal aliens. In other words, the non-workers. What a difference a half century makes.
The Moonbats are fighting hard to stop the wall because that would impede the invasion of their voters after all. Their only goals are to win at the polls. And if this means ruining the country, then bring on the wrecking ball.
That's right. That's the way they look at it. You know, if the people crossing the border were voting Republicans, Schumer would be calling for minefields and moats filled with alligators and crocodiles and barbed wire fences 20 feet tall, et cetera, et cetera. But they want to go on welfare, so he's welcoming them with open arms.
Howie's heated swimming pool. You have to put something between the heliport and the polo field in your backyard.
Would that it were, Jay. Would that it were. I don't even know what I would use a helipad for. I don't have a helicopter, and I don't have a polo pony.
Well, Donald Trump needs someplace to land when he comes to visit you.
Well, I wish he would come to visit me. I would tell him to, do something about Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan is not your friend, Mr. President. I'm your friend. Make me the maitre d'.
Here, man, you listen here, Carr, you bastard. Yes, the Democrats have rolled the Republicans with this budget, and I'm glad they did. I mean, I'm an expert at showing people how to roll, especially rolling in Oldsmobile off a bridge. Yeah.
That's right. Roll out the barrel. Ted will have a barrel of fun.
So, Howie, they opened up your pool out back? I hope the pugs can swim, because you do just kick them right out the door every morning. You pug mo.
The pugs don't go near the pool, especially once the ducks arrive there for their annual stay. They like to, hang out at the pool for a while before they go on to wherever they're headed up north. And the pugs are petrified of the ducks. They're petrified of anyone with wings and feathers. Anything with wings and feathers.
That was your last chump line message. Thank you for calling Howie Carr, you chump.
All right, that's it for the Chump Line today. The Chump Line is the recorded voicemail message service of the Howie Carr Show. You can call and leave a message at any hour of the day or night, including weekends. The Chump Line number, if you'd like to leave such a message, is 844-500-4242. Press 2 for the Chump Line, and you'll be directed, and you can leave a message that we may or may not play at this time each weekday afternoon. The Chump Line is brought to you by Matthews Brothers, whose Maine-made windows are available only through better lumber yards and window professionals like Bell Tate's Building Supply. With locations throughout southern New Hampshire and northern Massachusetts, Bell Tate's is only a short ride from you. Visit our friendly stores or shop online at belltates.com.
When they passed the omnibus spending bill in December 2015, Paul Ryan rolled over and gave President Obama everything he asked for. It's too bad he can't show such deference to the current president.
I think the problem is he likes Obama more than he liked Trump. And I mean that sincerely. I'm Howie Carr.
The Howie Carr Show.
We've come to Liberty Safe to give you some information on what to look for when you're buying an entry-level safe. We're here with Jamie Skousen from Liberty Safe. Jamie, tell me about it.
Well, what we have here is 3 entry-level safes. Okay. They're between $500 and $600. Okay. What we wanted to do today is to put them to the test on a pry test to see how strong they are.
Well, let's put them to the pry test. We're going to give it 5 minutes on each one, give them 5 minutes to get in. We'll speed it up for the viewers and see what happens when we really put this thing to the pry test and see if we can get these doors open.
We're going to tip them over, and we've got 2 big, strong engineers that are going to go at it.
All right, let's do it. All right, we've got the big guys and the big pry bars. Let's get it started. Go! frame of the body is bending.
Whoa, we're open.
All right, 39 seconds.
Wow.
39 seconds is a lot faster than 5 minutes. And this thing is open. You can see how this thing bent. All right, let's do safe number 2. On your mark, get set, go. As they say, the corner is actually really a weak point of the safe. What the? All right, 21 seconds, and they got that sucker open. All right, now let's see if we can get the Liberty safe open. On your mark, get set, go. And now for the Liberty safe. And these guys promised me they're really gonna try to get it open. This is the Liberty safe. It has 5 bars that are 4 inches long each. So like Jamie was saying, we have more surface area to grip on the body of the safe. I think we're gonna have to speed this up a little bit. 3 minutes. Yeah, maybe. And 5 minutes.
Whoa!
5 minutes.
Look at them.
You saw it. That's the pry test. 5-minute pry test, couldn't get open. And that is why you need to buy quality. Liberty safe, made in the USA.
That Hillary is going to laugh quite a bit tonight, sometimes even at an appropriate moment. You know, last night I called Hillary a nasty woman. But this stuff is all relative. After listening to Hillary rattle on and on and on, I don't think so badly of Rosie O'Donnell anymore.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm telling you right now, it's awesome. I was trying to get my blood pressure regulated, okay? And like after 3 days of taking this thing, my blood pressure went back down to normal. I am ecstatic. I am so happy with this stuff. It is my savior.
This was the first summer that I have not had to have a steroid shot to help me to breathe.
The reason why I'm taking it because I've got Hep C. Once I began taking your stuff, it took a few months, but believe it or not, my liver enzymes are way down and it's normal now. It works.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code TALK.
It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life, but I should have ordered it like 15 years ago.
Hi, folks. In a world of GMO, genetically modified organisms, that is, chemicals, processed foods, and a healthcare system that's unraveling like a cheap suit, it's time to prepare. God created herbs, and herbs help man. Our body can heal itself, just sometimes we need assistance. You need some help? GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Our mild detox is quite powerful with its unique blend of 8 different herbs. And if you're looking for more, our non-GMO supplements will help you with different needs you might have. Health should be a top priority. Take care of your health naturally. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Give your body a treat. Let the herbs do their thing naturally. Read all the testimonies on the website, GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Sickness and viruses are like intruders, and herbs are like warriors. Let the tea work for you. That's GetTheTea.com.
He's on your radio and on your smartphone. Download the Howie Carr app on the iTunes or Android app stores. This is the Howie Carr Show.
Today's poll question is brought to you by Casper Mattress. I love this warmer weather, or I would if it was warmer, but it can keep you from getting a quality night's sleep. A good mattress helps. I have the best. I have a Casper. Try yours for 100 nights risk-free. Go to Casper.com and use code Howie for $50 towards the purchase of your mattress. Terms and conditions apply. Steve, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Did the Republicans get rolled in budget negotiations?
I think it's pretty clear they did, isn't it?
Yeah, up to 93% now who say yes, Howie.
Yes. Did you see that the New York Times a couple of weeks ago hired this never-Trumper guy named Bret Stephens, and he's just kind of he's a careerist type guy. I wouldn't say he's as slithery as David Brooks, but he's in the same category, and he just wants to make his way. And somehow we thought that it would be a real move up for him to get to the New York Times from the Wall Street Journal. Maybe it was a little too Rupert Murdochian for him, and that they didn't hate Trump enough for him. So he writes this column. His first column is saying that maybe climate change isn't all it's knocked up to be. It's maybe there's two sides to the climate change story. And so now they want to they want to kick him down the stairs like he's Bill O'Reilly or somebody at the New York Times. They want to fire him already. They're trying to organize this boycott. People are canceling their digital subscriptions because this guy said that maybe there were two sides to the story of global warming. It's just amazing. What a stupid guy Bret Stephens was to think that there could be room for anybody with a mind at the New York Times. Bad move, Brett. I guess you're not as smart as you thought you were. Arthur, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Arthur.
Hey, Howie. Well, they got us again.
You mean this budget deal?
Yeah, it's something. It pisses me. I'm pissed off to the highest degree. And you know what? And Trump is going along like he actually won something. Can he be that stupid that he's been played from day one? And exactly what is Pence supposed to be doing for him?
Well, I think what they're gonna say, Arthur, is wait till the end of the week. We're gonna get the Obamacare repeal through, and everyone will be happy, and then we'll be on to tax reform, so called, and we'll straighten all this out in the fall. That's what they're gonna say. You'll see them tonight on on cable news on Fox saying that.
Okay, so they're going to claim a victory for saving Obamacare because every time I hear what they're saying, when all the media guys are questioning these people, they say, "Oh, so you still have this in the bill, and you still have that in the bill, and you still have this in the bill." So what are they changing? I mean, right. First of all, how stupid can it be, Howie? They should have just dropped it, let it go, or let it die. That's one of the best political, campaign things they had, and now they're taking it away from the other guys. These are the biggest idiots in the world. Obamacare was the worst thing since Prohibition.
I agree, but they didn't want those sob stories. And again, there's a great column in the Wall Street Journal about this by a guy named Holman Jenkins Jr., America's most anti-reform institution, the media. And he goes into the way they play these things, Arthur, and they would have done the same thing with Obamacare. They probably will in the long run, which is sob stories. Budget debates are conducted in terms of sob stories. What? You're not in favor of meals for the elderly? You're not in favor of export loans for small manufacturers? You don't think fighting men and women deserve the best equipment and training money can buy? Try it yourself. It's all sob stories, never a discussion of costs and benefits. And they're doing the same thing with the taxes, Arthur. 88% of these deductions for property taxes go to people making over $100,000. I thought those were the 1%ers. But now the New York Times is, because the Republicans have suggested cutting out the deductions for the state income taxes and the state property taxes, like in New York and California, New Jersey, and Massachusetts. They're saying Trump's plan shifts trillions to wealthiest. Right? You could write the same thing and say Trump's plan shifts trillions away from wealthiest. But they're going to put their spin on it. That's the problem. And the Republicans are gutless. They don't have the stomach to fight it out.
What? Don't the Republicans in Congress understand that they won Because of what Trump was running for, that's why they won.
I understand that, Arthur. You and I understand that. But
so they have money for Planned Parenthood, but they don't have money for the wall.
That's a very good way to put it, Arthur. And they would say that's a terribly unfair way to put it, but it accurately sums up the budget deal that they cut. Money for Planned Parenthood, money for an extra $300 million for Puerto Rican welfare, but no money for the wall. That's yes, those are their priorities in a nutshell. Thanks for the call, Arthur. 1-844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr.
And now, 60 seconds of liberals freaking out over the election of Donald J. Trump.
You're awake, by the way. You're not having a terrible, terrible dream. Also, you're not dead and you haven't gone to hell. This is your life now. This is our election now. This is us. This is our country.
This is a different Earth today than it was 24 hours ago. It's a different place because it just is different.
The woman who President Obama called the most qualified person ever to run for the White House couldn't break through. The question remains, who can?
Deeper concerns tonight that the world's shining light of democracy has gone dark.
Decency lost last night, and that's what's so hurtful about this.
This was a white lash. This was a white lash against a changing country. It was a white lash against a black president in part. And that's the part where the pain comes.
How do we explain how this is possible?
How did this happen?
Trump derangement syndrome. It's a real thing, folks.
Hey guys, it's Grace from the Howie Carr Show. Gifts are always great, but who really needs more stuff? Let's be honest, between Christmas and the New Year, it's hard to come up with a nice way to give a great gift without just regifting that old fruitcake. But luckily, we have the perfect gift idea for you. It's the Howie Carr Show VIP experience. If someone you know is a fan of Howard Lauren's car, then this is the perfect way to celebrate any occasion. Come visit Howie in our brand new studio and watch the entire show. Best part? Well, if you were to ask Howie, he'd probably say the Kowloon. And I can't really disagree. But there is also no other way to see all the behind-the-scenes work that goes into New England's favorite radio show. Get your picture with Howie and a selfie with yours truly. We've had over 100 people enjoy the VIP experience, and the reviews have been stellar. We've even had the occasional guest on air to tell their own funny story to the listeners. So don't delay and buy your VIP experience today at HowieCarShow.com. Click store. HowieCarShow.com. Click store.
If your home has hard water, then it's likely that limescale is clogging your pipes, damaging your appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars each year. You can eliminate limescale in the entire house with HydroCare products available at Wave Home Solutions. Easy and efficient with no maintenance, no salts, no chemicals, and no coils. And you can buy with confidence from Wave Home Solutions. Performance guaranteed. Just go to bestwater411.com. That's bestwater411.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
And now one of Howie's biggest fans.
Some of the hats were crocheted, you ignorant Republican. It's pronounced creme de la creme, you stupid Republican. He's 12 years older than me. I wish he'd learn how to speak English. He's 12 years older than I, because you would say he's 12 years older than I am. You wouldn't say he's 12 years older than me am. I wish you would learn English. Go to Mexico, learn English, then climb over this wall that's not going to be built and paid for. Bye. Have you tried the Donald Trump sandwich yet? It's bologna with Russian dressing, a tiny pickle on white. Do you really think everyone of voting age has a driver's license? That shows what an idiot you are. Do you think somebody 97 who wants to vote has a driver's license? You're an idiot. You're the biggest idiot.
He might not know how to copy and paste, but he's figured out how to tweet. Follow Howie on Twitter at Howie Carr Show. Now, back to Howie Carr.
1-844-500-4242. That is the toll-free number of the Howie Carr Show. If you'd like to join us here this afternoon, every weekday afternoon, you know it's Monday. It's the third hour of the show. That means it's time for Hate Mail Monday.
Let the hate flow through you.
Hate Mail Monday is powered by Piantadosi Baking Company, celebrating over 100 years of baking excellence since 1916. All week long, I suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, as they say, for my columns and my postings, and on the message boards of the Boston Herald, on the Facebook page here at the radio show,
on the
text line,
on the YouTube comments. You get a lot of haters on the YouTube comments.
Yeah, social media I like social media, but sometimes the trolling is more than somewhat.
Oh, are you going to get sad on me already?
No, I'm fine.
You need a safe space, Howie.
He needs the small violin, I think. He's already getting a little emotional.
I just need some of that barbecue at Yale. You know, the college Republicans at Yale had a barbecue next to where the grad students were having their somewhat so-called hunger strike. I could use some of that barbecue right now.
But that doesn't even make sense because they could tap out whenever they were feeling hungry. So it's really just convenient. It's not like they're tempting them if the barbecue's right there.
No kidding. I mean, that's what the joke was all about.
Yeah,
you know, it was the stupidest
right
hunger strike of all time because it's just, I'm on a hunger strike till I get hungry. And then I'm going to have some potato chips or some peanuts
or in this
a
case,
hamburger.
Some ribs. I heard they were making ribs over there.
Right. Exactly. But anyway, you've got some hate mail about what are people angry about this week?
Well, here's the thing, Howie. It's May 1st, and it's a new leaf for me. This month is all about positivity. So I didn't really want to come out here and read the hate mail because you tend to look at me like a sad puppy that's just, or I should say a pug that you've kicked. And it makes me feel bad. So I decided for this edition, we're just going to do voicemails because technically my hands are clean in that situation. I did not write them. I did not read them. So
wait, are you just admitting that you used to write hate mail?
I embellish.
On Howie's columns?
I embellish like any artist. I choose to embellish. Sometimes people don't use enough.
Didn't I get people angry about? I wrote about John Kerry moving from Nantucket to the Vineyard. I wrote about this hack judge in Newton that let the illegal alien gangbanger go. I mean, didn't I get some good hate mail on that? I mean, that's that judge story is the number one story on the Herald website right now.
It's strange though, Howie. I think a lot of people agree with you when it comes to John Kerry and people like the judge. It seems like you had some people on your side this week, except for our favorite girl. She's back from vacation.
She's a girl?
Well, it depends.
I thought she was the world's oldest woman now that the woman in Italy died at the age of 120 or whatever she was.
Okay, our favorite old biddy is back, and she's super angry, and I love it. So let's play hate mail senile.
Is she angry that Bill
labeled
O'Reilly and Bill Shine got fired? Is that what she's angry about?
No, she's actually angry at Trump.
Oh,
and
what a shock. What a shock.
He said Iraq instead of Syria in a conversation being interviewed a week ago. He is senile. We have a senile president. He's not my president. He's your president. You elected him. He is senile.
As opposed to who? Nancy Pelosi? Can we play the Nancy Pelosi cut again? She's again confused.
It means winning for the American people, that either we win or whoever wins understands the priorities of the American people, and they are not what President Bush, excuse me.
President
so sorry,
Trump.
President Bush.
How many times is she going to mix that up?
I know. She's like that girl who goes on a date.
Bartender, no more Botox for that woman.
But she's like that girl who goes on a date with someone and then says her ex-boyfriend's name. It's like you gotta get it straight here. It's embarrassing.
603 says you're a sellout, Grace, because Howie broke your mug and now you're taking it soft on the hate.
No.
By the way, I have a new mug for you.
Really?
Yes.
Has it been used before? Is it from the dump?
No, it's from. I got
from
it.
the dump.
No, I got it from. I got it at the Market Basket in Swansea.
Oh, you bought it for me?
No, a guy brought it in.
Oh, okay.
He brought in some eggs and he brought in a mug for you, and I've got it. I think it's in the bag. I'm going to bring it out. I'll bring it to you in the next break.
Oh, thank you. Oh, so the guy gave me the mug And he gave it to you to
He gave
bring
it to me, and then I washed it, and then I put it in my bag.
But did he give it to you to give to Grace?
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay. So he gave her the mug. You don't have a mug
These are the
to
clarifications we need at the Howie Carr Show.
I'm the middleman.
Yeah. But anyway, so after that first voicemail message that I heard, I was super impressed that she didn't use any foul language because normally she resorts to really mean curse words and things like that. So I was relieved.
It's probably because it was the end of the month and she's run out of her prescription medications under Medicare.
Exactly.
Or Medicaid or whatever welfare she's on.
But then it took a turn for the worst.
Really are a mother pig and a Republican.
She throws that in at the end.
That's all? That's all it was? That was brief, Grace.
It was brief, but if you had heard the unedited version, my little ears were... Steve was back there with me. I was shaken up.
She lost a little bit of her innocence on this day, Howie.
I did.
She had to go down. You had to go down to the Whiskey Priest to get a little brace yourself.
No, I did not go to the Whiskey Priest Monday, for Pete's sake. Anyway, then I thought, though, another positive, she's not disguising her voice anymore. She's using her normal voice. And I was happy about that. And then I heard this message.
Yesterday's march proved that Republicans are idiots. But we don't need a march to prove that now, do we? We got Trump in the House. He's senile. Can't remember people's names. Cake, the best
She's back to the same
chocolate
senile.
cake. He's an idiot. You voted for him. World War III coming up.
How do you feel that if World War III happens, it's on you?
It's a lot. It'll be a lot to live with.
But then I was also kind of sad. I'm walking you through how I felt through all these messages. I was like, oh, I kind of miss the Russian voice because that was her go-to disguise for a while. I thought maybe she gave it up. But then.
She really sounds like she's about 300 years old in that last message.
Yeah, that's like her new voice. But then this one's my favorite.
Maybe if there was something decent to listen to on the radio in the afternoon, people wouldn't have to do drugs.
Oh, I think you'd have to do drugs, Granny, anyway, one way or the other.
Is she blaming the opioid crisis on you, Howie?
I think that's it. That's it. If only I had. If only I was producing better programming, we wouldn't have this this epidemic of deaths that are confronting the nation.
But I know what you guys are thinking. Like, she has the reign here. She's the queen of hate mail, but she's got somebody coming for her throne. We have a newbie this week. She's so adorable. I love her. And
a new female. Where are the males that are attacking me on these chump lines and other places, voicemail message
they just
boards?
don't get as creative, the males. You know what I mean? They usually just call in and tell me in person that they don't like you. Then they hang up. They don't go through the steps of leaving messages like this.
Several texters think that this woman sounds like Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren, or is she a female judge on the Massachusetts bench?
It is a Cambridge area code.
I don't know how many female. Well, that could be. Could she be calling for? Is there still a payphone in any one of the Harvard Square cheese shops?
I don't think so. I don't think there's a payphone anywhere anymore, Howie. But let's play our new girl because I think she's good. She's got some talent.
Another bullshit Republican bunch of bullshit. A pox on you and your news show.
Mine what?
Your news show.
Another bullshit Republican bunch of bullshit. A pox on you and your news show.
I think she got a little verklempt there. Like she sounded like she was gonna cough or something. She was holding it back.
Are any of these people that are calling in, these old ladies leaving messages, do any of them not know where they were when Pearl Harbor was bombed?
Okay, you can't be picky about who your haters are. I'm sorry your haters are all old and decrepit. That's not my fault. And you know what, guys? Honestly, I love how her language, a pox on you, that's like Shakespeare. We're getting pretty good here.
Yeah, well, I don't know about it, Shakespearean or not.
When was the last time you read one of Shakespeare's plays, Grace?
Probably in my theater days. A pox on you.
Toil and trouble, boil and bubble, toil and trouble. Which one is that from?
Hamlet. Macbeth.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
I only know 3, so I figured it's got to be one of them.
If I'd said the Tempest, though, you would have just said, oh, I thought I got it right. All right, that's Hate Mail Monday. It's powered by Piantadosi Baking Company, celebrating over 100 years of baking excellence since 1916. We'll be back with your calls. Hang on in just a moment. I'm Howie Carr.
The Howie Carr Show continues next.
Hello, out there. Incredibly bad Christopher Walken impersonator here. I asked my friends at Matthews Brothers, after 163 years, how did you survive the tough times? They told me a little frog was hopping about in a barnyard and, being something of a carefree scamp and perhaps a bit too curious, ended up falling into a pail half filled with fresh milk. He swam about attempting to reach the top of the pail, but the sides were too steep to climb. He tried to stretch his little back legs to push off the bottom, but it was too deep. Although he was scared, this frog had spunk. He had determination. He would not give up. So he continued to struggle. He kicked and he squirmed. He squirmed and he kicked until at last all his kicking and squirming about had churned that milk into a big hunk of butter, solid enough for him to climb onto and get out of that pail. You never give up. You can see the results of this singular commitment to wicked awesomeness, but only at better lumberyards and window professionals or on the web at MatthewsBrothers.com. Matthews Brothers with 1 T, America's oldest window manufacturer.
Or the same old flowers. Let her know you really wanted to get her the best of the best and get her the Aquasonic Wave Jewelry Cleaner. Order today at HowieCarShow.com. Click store and save $10 off with coupon code Howie. HowieCarShow.com. Click store.
I received a call from Perfect Smiles that one of my listeners visited them and asked, why doesn't Howie get his teeth cleaned here? When I was told about this, I was shocked. I've known Dr. Houghton of Nashua, New Hampshire for over 15 years, and I never knew they did routine cleanings. I always thought of Perfect Smiles as the place to go for high-end dentistry. After all, they transformed my smile. But now I've just made my first appointment with their hygienist. So whether you need a cleaning, filling, root canal, or new smile, call Perfect Smiles at 1-844-A-PERFECT-SMILE or find them at perfectsmiles.com. Don't be fooled by imposters. You want Dr. Houghton of perfectsmiles.com.
We could play another commercial, or we could play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
And I don't want this evening without saying something nice about my opponent. Hillary's been in Washington a long time. She knows a lot about how government works. And according to her sworn testimony, Hillary has forgotten more things than most of us will ever know. That I can tell you. Now, if some of you haven't noticed, Hillary isn't laughing as much as the rest of us. That's because she knows the jokes. And all of the jokes were given to her in advance of the dinner by Donna Brazile. Here she is tonight in public, pretending not to hate Catholics.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
You've probably heard about all the great benefits of goat milk soap, but did you know some companies take shortcuts? At Old New England Soap, we make our organic goat's milk soap using 36% goat's milk. That's 17% more than most others. Our bars are larger, so they last longer, producing lots of lather packed with vitamins. And our soap is a natural moisturizer that smooths dry and damaged skin. Order online at oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. You've tried the rest. Now try the best. oldnesoap.com.
Water-based soaps on supermarket shelves use harsh chemical acids to break down dead skin cells. And that's just not good for you. At Old New England Soap, our soaps are made without chemical ingredients, contain no alcohol or petroleum products, and use 85% organic materials and carry the USDA's organic certification. Try some today. Go to oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. oldnesoap.com.
PatriotPrepared.com carries the leading brands of storable food from Numana, Legacy, and Heaven's Harvest. Patriot Prepared. Our name says it all. We're dedicated to empowering you to be self-reliant and confident in any circumstance. Whether you want to be prepared in the event of an emergency or you're an outdoor sports enthusiast, PatriotPrepared.com has prepackaged meals and kits for your entire family. Legacy, Heaven's Harvest, and Numana are known for high-quality, great-tasting, GMO-free, nutritious food with no chemical preservatives. Simple to prepare, easy to store, gluten-free and organic high-quality nutrition options with a 25-year shelf life. You can't beat the feeling of being food secure when you need it most. So go to PatriotPrepared.com right now to pick up your supply of high-quality storable food for your family, because it makes good sense to be prepared. That's PatriotPrepared.com.
Want to spend a day in studio with Howie Carr? Get to HowieCarrShow.com and click store to get tickets to Howie's in-studio VIP experience. Now, back to Howie Carr.
Chuck Berry. All right. Good to hear Chuck on a Monday afternoon. 1-844-500-4242. Mary, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Mary.
Hi, Howie. Love your show.
Thank you.
I'm calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I was just at the rally on Saturday.
You have a good time?
And it was just, I had a fabulous time. I was so excited. I could hardly contain myself, and everybody was standing. I mean, it was a venue that held like over 7,000 people, and so it was pretty full. And then the part where everybody was standing, there was probably several more hundred there. So it was a full venue, and everybody stood for like the whole hour that Trump was there and spoke, because Vice President Pence spoke for about 15 minutes, and then Trump came up to speak, and he spoke about an hour, and like everybody was on their feet, and it was just so thrilling and wonderful to hear him. And he pretty much spoke about all the things that he campaigned on, and people kept shouting, build a wall, USA, USA. So it was great, and I didn't see really any protesters at all. It was a very calm, gathering, when we were trying to get in. Of course, when I came home, I turned on the news, and then they were showing all these protesters, or a few protesters. I didn't see them. I mean, I'm sure they were there, and I think they had them hidden, but it was pretty much protest-free from what I could see, and the crowd was just very enthusiastic.
Mary, there was a column.
Loved him.
There was a column in my newspaper today saying that Trump's media bashing is getting kind of old, but I always enjoy it, including on Saturday night. Did you enjoy it? Did the people in Harrisburg like it? Did they appreciate it? It's kind of like hearing when you go to a Chuck Berry concert, you want to hear Johnny Be Good, right? I mean, this is one of his greatest hits. Right?
Yeah, it was. Like, he would point to the media, it's like, and you media, you're not fair and balanced, and I'd rather be here than at that boring correspondence dinner and stuff, and it was great. And so, there was the media there, and they pretty much reported pretty fairly here, I would say, in my area. Like, they did give it a lot of coverage. I mean, the protesters, I thought they put too much emphasis on that, but
they always do.
That's what
they always do.
Do.
Right, exactly. Yeah. They want they want confrontations between the groups, so they have to put in the other side and people screaming and yelling. Maybe he'll make it an annual event to go to Harrisburg on the night of the Correspondence Dinner for the next 3 years too, Mary.
That would be great. It would he might need a bigger venue, because, like I said, it was full, and I'm sure more people would love to come. Like I told some people, and they're like, "Oh, how'd you get tickets?" And it was really easy to get tickets, but they didn't even really look at our tickets, so most people could have just made it.
All right, Mary. No thanks for calling in and giving us that on the scene report from Harrisburg on Saturday night. Justin, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Justin.
How goes the battle? I'm a little ignorant as to all of the elaborate scams that our illegal alien buddies have going on. But what would your assumption be that a suspected illegal from Central America would be doing standing in the post office with literally about a 3.5-inch wad of cash, buying about 5 different money orders for about $3,000, $2,000 to $3,000 a piece.
Well, my question, Justin, is what was Western Union shut down? Why? That's usually where they go. They prefer to go to Western Union.
That's what I thought.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
They had two attendants trying to help the guy because neither one of them could tell half of what he was saying, and he's just standing there with a wad with about probably $1,000 worth of hundreds on the outside, and it's mostly all small bills, 10s and 5s, and he's sitting there, the attendants are sitting there counting out the cash and a bunch of stacks on the counter. Here's one money order for $700. Here's another one for $700. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing with all these money orders? Meanwhile, there's like 6 of us standing in line waiting to drop stuff off, and we're waiting for these two to finish counting up all this money.
I wonder if there was any kind of white powder on any of those bills, Justin. You think so? Perhaps.
Well, that's what two of us were whistling. We were whispering to each other on the side, going, "Why are they all small bills?"
I had a problem at the post office today too. I went in there, not an illegal alien problem, but some woman walked in there and she had 20 envelopes, and so her boss had sent her in there, and she had 21 envelopes, and she had to get a sheet of 20 stamps plus one more stamp. And so the guy handed her a sheet of 20 stamps for $9.80 plus one more, so a little over $10. And she said, "I don't want to put the stamps on." And we're looking at everybody behind her in the line, because there's only, of course, one window open. We're thinking to ourselves, she doesn't want to put the stamps on. This is too much of a burden. To put, you don't even have to lick the stamps anymore. They don't have lickable stamps anymore. So you just have to take them off and put them on the envelope. What did she want? And finally, the guy just told her, you're going to have to put the stamps on the envelopes, ma'am. But I don't know that she had ever put a stamp on an envelope. She looked like she was about 40 years old. I don't know how she pays her bills or what she does, but that's what. That was my problem at the post office today. It's not real pleasant to be at the post office wherever you are. By the way, you can always get my books. They're not just at KennedyBabylon.com. Go to Howie Carr Show and click on Kennedy Babylon. And if you order right now off of my website, you can get a free T-shirt with every book you order, a free Kennedy Babylon T-shirt. Somebody just texted in and said, who's the guy that's all dressed in black on the back of Kennedy Babylon? That would be Sam Momo Giancana, head of the Chicago outfit. He helped JFK steal the state of Illinois in the 1960 election, and they shared a girlfriend, Judith Campbell Exner. Sam Momo Giancana. He was called to testify about the assassination before one of the congressional committees in the mid-'70s, and somebody shot him in the head before he could testify. That's the way it worked out. By the way, if you don't want to order at HowieCarShow.com, Kennedy Babylon, or you don't want to order at Amazon, you can always buy the books at various locations. We're all up and down the New England coast. You can get the books Kennedy Babylon at the gift shops at Mass General, the Yawkey Shop at Mass General, the Leahy Clinic Gift Shop, Burlington, Newton Wellesley, and Mount Auburn hospitals. You can also get the books at Wellesley Books in Wellesley, Bookends in Winchester, Andover Bookstore in Andover, the Book Rack in Newburyport, Cabot Street Books and Cards in Beverly, Spirit of 76 Bookstore and Card Shop in Marblehead, Used Bookstore, Superstore in Burlington, Booksmith, Musicsmith in Orleans, Titcomb's Bookshop in East Sandwich, New England Mobile Book Fair in Newton Highlands, Broadside Bookshop in Northampton, and we're also in Books A Million in Maine, in Bangor and South Portland. We're in the None Such Books and Cards in South Portland and Biddeford, and you can also buy us at Ken's Place in Scarborough, and the Palm Beach Bookstore in Florida. I'm Howie Carr.
We could play another commercial, or we could play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
We have proven that we can actually be civil to each other. In fact, just before taking the dais, Hillary accidentally bumped into me, and she very civilly said, "Pardon me." I know Hillary met my campaign manager, and I got the chance to meet the people who are working so hard to get her elected. There they are, the heads of NBC, CNN, CBS, ABC, There's the New York Times right over there and the Washington Post. They're working overtime. True.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
I'm getting older and noticing that my body just doesn't work as well as it used to. So I like to keep fit as possible by hitting the gym a few times a week. Recently, I started having a nagging bicep pain, and it got so bad I couldn't even lift the weights. When I was complaining about it to a friend, he told me about angioprim. He said chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in veins and arteries that may cause blockages. You know, after just of taking angioprim, the pain was gone, and now I'm back in the gym full strength. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. So to learn more, go to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com, or talk to a trained consultant. Call Angioprim toll free at 877-882-7221. You'll feel better with more energy. Call 877-882-7221 or go to the website angioprim.com.
The Howie Carr Show continues next. We could play another commercial, or we could just play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
And I've known Hillary for a long time. This is the first time ever, that Hillary is sitting down and speaking to major corporate leaders and not getting paid for it. We've learned so much from WikiLeaks. For example, Hillary believes that it's vital to deceive the people by having one public policy and a totally different policy in private. Now, I'm told Hillary went to confession before tonight's event, but the priest was having a hard time when he asked her about her sins, and she said she couldn't remember 39 times.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
I'm getting older and noticing that my body just doesn't work as well as it used to. So I like to keep fit as possible by hitting the gym a few times a week. Recently, I started having a nagging bicep pain, and it got so bad I couldn't even lift the weights. When I was complaining about it to a friend, he told me about angioprim. He said chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in veins and arteries that may cause blockages. You know, after just 1 week of taking angioprim, the pain was gone, and now I'm back in the gym full strength. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. So to learn more, go to angioprim.com. That's ANGIOPRIM.com, or talk to a trained consultant. Call Angioprim toll free at 877-882-7221. You'll feel better with more energy. Call 877-882-7221 or go to the website angioprim.com.
We could play another commercial, or we could play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
You know, they say when you do this kind of an event, you always start out with a self-deprecating joke. Some people think this would be tough for me, but the truth is... The truth is I'm actually a modest person, very modest. It's true. In fact, many people tell me that modesty is perhaps my best quality. I'd like to address an important religious matter, the issue of going to confession, or as Hillary calls it, the 4th of July weekend with FBI Director Comey.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Would odors, mold, and mildew describe your basement or crawl space? It doesn't have to be that way. Transform them into a fresh, healthy, usable one with the technologically advanced Wave moisture control units. The computerized operation maximizes moisture control and also expels harmful radon, combustion gases, and numerous other pollutants. Dehumidifiers are old technology that do nothing for air quality and waste energy. Wave units are intelligent, self-monitoring, do not need maintenance, and will save you hundreds in electricity. Wave units are still running effectively over 15 years. They've been tested and installed in public and military housing and by property managers nationwide. Buy a unit now, and if your home is not fresher and drier, you can return it for a full refund for up to 12 months. What have you got to lose? Call now. 1-888-618-WAVE. 1-888-618-WAVE. Or visit mydryhome.com. That's mydryhome.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
We could play another commercial, or we could just play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
She got kicked off the Watergate Commission. How corrupt do you have to be to get kicked off the Watergate Commission? Everyone knows, of course, Hillary's belief that it takes a village, which only makes sense, after all, in places like Haiti, where she's taken a number of them. I wasn't really sure if Hillary was going to be here tonight, because I guess you didn't send her invitation by email. Or maybe you did, and she just found out about it through the wonder of WikiLeaks.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Hi, this is Andrea from Ever So Humble Pie Company in East Walpole. Well, it's that time of year when comfort food is king. And now, in addition to our delectable dessert pies, we're offering home-style classics like chicken pot pie, shepherd's pie, and Canadian meat pie. Simply turn on your oven and you'll have a wholesome, hearty meal. Pick up a fruit pie while you're here, and you've got dinner and dessert from Ever So Humble Pie Company. For more information, call us at 508-660-9731 or visit us at eversohumble.com. That's eversohumble.com.
It's here. Howie Carr's latest book, Kennedy Babylon, A Century of Depravity and Scandal. Kennedy Babylon is a whirlwind tour of scandals from the days of the Kennedy clan's rabidly anti-Semitic patriarch to the death of JFK Jr. Ann Coulter says Howie Carr is making Kennedy books great again. You'll love the never-before-seen images of the Kennedy family in Howie Carr's latest book, Kennedy Babylon, A Century of Depravity and Scandal.
Better strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show.
Year after year, you pleaded for Washington to enforce our laws. As illegal immigration surged, refugees flooded in, and lax vetting threatened your family's safety and security. Your pleas have finally been... Oh, don't worry, we're going to have the wall. Don't worry about it.
That is absolutely racist. That's that dog whistling. That's saying to people, this is what is happening in America with you and all the problems that we have.
Live from an undisclosed location.
And they're still with him. They're not with you. Explain to me what that disconnection is. Actually, I'm going to push back. I disagree with you. When you talk... Well, his fans are not with you. Hold on. Come on. When we talk... I don't like you, Pocahontas.
Unchained and unstoppable.
That is the name that Donald Trump uses for Senator Elizabeth Warren, to the delight of people who apparently think Pocahontas is a Disney character. Pocahontas was a real person. And tonight, 400 years later, the President of the United States is trying to do Elizabeth Warren some hurt by throwing a name at her that was invented by Native Americans to protect a woman.
Who do you love? Howie Carr.
I mean, that's the problem right now is we can look at a broken immigration system and you can look at illegal immigration. Well, there's no legal way for immigrants to actually enter this country. And these are people that want to work. They want to feed their families. They're fleeing really bad situations. And once they get here, they just contribute.
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
If you're not familiar with why he's really calling her Pocahontas, just go to townhall.com and read my column today. I summed it up in 800 words. If you weren't paying attention when the whole controversy began in 2012, and it sometimes seems like the Moonbats, the people who are defending her against Donald Trump and Scott Brown and people like me, haven't paid attention to what happened. She used to be a white woman. Then she became an Indian so she could get those 2 tenured jobs at the Ivy League law schools. And once she got them and she got elected to the Senate, she became a white woman again. Poop. That's true. No, it's not poop. That's true. That's true. That's exactly what happened. Anyway, joining us in this segment is Bruce Mittman. He is the owner of Mitcom Advertising, one of the largest advertising companies in Boston. He also was one of the partners in Community Broadcasters, which owns 46 radio stations in 8 markets. And we talk about the media, and I guess we've got a lot to talk about this week, starting with what's happening at Fox. Last week, they got rid of Bill O'Reilly. And today they got rid of Bill Shine, who was the Roger Ailes' right-hand man, and he was a friend of O'Reilly's. And he's also the former producer for Sean Hannity. The producers are tweeting out like it's going to be a big show tonight on Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity said last week, if they get rid of Bill Shine, it's the end of Fox News Channel. And now they've gotten rid of Bill Shine today. They fired him, even though Rupert Murdoch had lunch with him, and Jack Abernathy, or Bill Abernathy, whatever his name is, the other co-president of Fox News, just last week, a sort of a show of support. But then they turned on him like the Roman Senate on the Ides of March on Julius Caesar.
Yeah, it's really sad because as far as we know, he really had nothing to do with any of these scandals.
No, he was sued by Andrea Tantaros, right. But I mean, not even she said.
Wasn't everybody so
right? And there's not, there's not.
There
appears to be no there as far as Andrea Tantaros goes, as opposed to say Gretchen Carlson.
Right, exactly. We're watching the unraveling of Fox. I'm fearful, and and I enjoy the station, and I'm starting to not enjoy the station, and I'm watching some of the day parts, and I'm not understanding the flow of who they have and where they have, especially the new 9 o'clock hour, which is about as boring as can be. And
it seems like it was a good spot for it to be at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock
when
was
you're making dinner, or
exactly.
You're just coming in from work, or you're just leaving to go to the second shift or whatever. It was easy to watch that kind of banter back and forth. But I don't know. But
that's a transitional show.
Yeah, 9 o'clock though. You want most people are settled in for the evening, and they want to get some meat.
Right.
About what. And I'm not sure.
Guests that have some validity, credibility, something to say. People in the news. I mean, this is for the 5 o'clock show is a transitional show, recapping what happened during the day.
The 5, they called it. They have 6 people on the 5 now, by the way.
Right.
That's another thing that's kind of confusing to me as someone who can count on both hands.
I didn't notice that part, probably because I can't count, but I just really a big mistake, and I think they've lost the rhythm of their network right now, and getting rid of people who understand and get the network, I think, is a problem. And Mark Cuban now on, I don't get that.
I didn't see. The thing was, when they replaced Glenn Beck with the 5, I mean, you looked at that the first day and you said, this is going to work. That was good. They had this women with the short skirts on either end, and then the drunk guy in the middle there, and et cetera, et cetera.
But we didn't appreciate the women with the skirts.
No,
that was
not
an
at all.
issue. Right,
not at
exactly.
all. I said, how dare Roger Ailes put women with short skirts and long legs on the
very fake news.
But anyway, today, though, the 5 is gone. The 5 is gone to 9 o'clock, and they have this new thing called The Specialists, and it's just people sitting around a desk. None of the guys are wearing ties. I mean, I'm an informal guy. Every day is casual Friday to me. But I mean, I think somebody ought to be wearing a tie, And I didn't see any legs either on the new Specialists.
I wasn't concerned with the legs, but it reminded me more of CNN, frankly. And it feels more like CNN. And, I work out at night and I'm watching, unfortunately, they always have CNN on. And I threw the water bottle at the TV the other day because I can't take it. And this sort of reminded me of that. And I'm very disappointed with what I'm seeing so far. And I would not be surprised to see a brand new network sort of
well, they
grow
said
up.
they were having a meeting on Friday.
Okay.
They didn't
Yeah.
say who was at the meeting, but they said that some of the people from the secondary conservative news outlets, like I guess Breitbart, ONN, Newsmax, which I'm on.
Right.
I guess I would assume that those were the people who were gathering together to talk about what they were going to do, put in, merge their assets together. And
Well, there's an opportunity right now. I mean, there's a wide open competitive opportunity for them to jump in and create this whole new network, because I think there's probably millions of people disappointed at the direction of where Fox is going and no place to go. And so it's logical for them to rebuild it. And I wouldn't be surprised if Bill O'Reilly, at which I must admit I made a mistake. I said he wasn't going to be fired. I was very surprised that he was fired. I would not have fired him. But then again, I really wasn't privy to all the information. So, but saying that, I think it wouldn't be surprising to me.
But
if
the
Bill
thing
O'Reilly
is,
was
nothing they had on O'Reilly other than this woman, Wendy Walsh, which turned out there was a lot less there than met the eye, as it turned out. None of that was new.
Right.
It was all old stuff. Everybody knew, who was paying attention and following it, knew that stuff had gone on, that he had paid off all these people, or Fox had paid off these people.
Exactly.
And but suddenly they allowed themselves to be influenced by this campaign.
It's like the Democrats really closed down the bullhorn on the Republicans, and he was the main speaker for a lot of the issues around the Republican Party, and now he's gone. And he clearly articulated a lot of the points of view that were certainly welcomed by the marketplace.
By the way, Glenn Beck and Tommy Lawrence settled their dispute today, and yes, she's going to be allowed to have her Facebook page, but left unsettled or not in the stories is who got custody of the heated butt pad.
Right.
That figured in the news stories last week.
Glenn Beck has just lost it as far as I'm concerned. He's burnt toast and he's over, and but not surprising.
Yeah. So someone said 339 says, "Why change when you're on top?"
Right.
Because they didn't want to. They went to a different kind of cocktail party than Bill O'Reilly and Bill Shine and Sean Hannity went to. They go to the beautiful people parties in Lower Manhattan, and that's what the Murdoch boys were concerned with.
Yeah, this is what happens when the next generation of Murdochs take over, and that didn't really build it, and were fortunate enough to be part of the family. I'm sure they're smart guys and talented guys, but I'm not sure they really understand the essence of what Fox represents or communicates, frankly.
Yeah. So people are saying One America News Network, DirecTV 347. So that's one. Newsmax is another one.
Right, exactly.
You got Mark
Although
Levin.
Newsmax, I don't think has the credit. I like Newsmax, but I'm not sure that it always has the kind of shine that it needs to expand its marketplace.
Well, again, that's
but
why
it's certainly a good network.
That's why they want to put everybody together, I think.
Right.
That's what Mediaite is talking about. By the way, what do you make of ESPN? I mean, how much trouble are they in?
100 people gone.
100 on-air people this time.
Yeah.
They've laid off hundreds before, but this is the first time it's ever been on-air, quote-unquote, talent.
Well, I think we talked about this about a month ago. I'm not surprised. There's just too much competition, too much cost for play-by-play. Not enough viewing when you've got sliced up in so many different ways. And
doesn't Fox though have the same problem? I mean, Fox Sports have the same problem. I mean, I'm sure they've overpaid, somewhat dramatically for rights as well. They're going to have to do the same. They're going to have the same problems down the road.
But they don't have 6 separate stations and have to fill all of that programming, and they've got their network, which they can offload some of the sports when it's not quite as impactful on the network. They've got a couple of play-by-play sports, and then they have some talk shows, but it's basically not that heavy a cost. ESPN, on the other, it's all a lot of original stuff. A lot of play-by-play, a lot of contracts, a lot of commitments, long-term.
What I'm thinking about is, Bruce, like here in Boston, and it's the same, I think, in most major markets. You have a local cable outfit is broadcasting most of the baseball games, right?
Nesson, for example.
Yes, and here in Boston, it would be Nesson.
Right.
So Why, if you're living in Boston and you have Nesson, why do you need ESPN to have a full slate of baseball games every night from markets and teams you don't give a bleep about?
Well, because really, sports enthusiasts are sports enthusiasts, and they watch.
How many baseball games can you watch?
Well, you know,
same with the NBA. I mean, all the Celtics games are on TV.
Let me tell you, ESPN built themselves on Sunday Night Baseball. Right, Monday Night Football. I mean, you know,
right. I like Monday Night Football, but I'm not complaining about that.
I used to like Sunday Night Baseball. You know, they had Game of the Week. You know, college football.
Guess what it was last night? It was the Boston Red Sox.
And
you could have watched it on Nesson, couldn't you?
It was a great game. No, Nesson was blacked out last night.
Oh, they were.
Yes. So network gets priority occasionally. The interesting thing going on right now is that local stations are now allowed to purchase streaming rights, which they weren't before. They have to buy it now they have to buy their own games and rebroadcast them themselves locally and share the revenue with the Major League Baseball.
Well, doesn't Channel 5 now pick up the Monday Night Football games if the Patriots are involved?
Yeah, well, because then they have local avails.
But a lot of people like to watch all of the Monday night games or all the Sunday night games. Right. We'll keep you around for one more segment, and then we're going to go back to talking about the Newton Judge at the bottom of the hour. By the way, 1-844-500-4242. This half hour of the Howie Carr Show is sponsored by General Communications. Not all cloud-based business telephone systems are created equal. Don't settle for just any system. Modern times call for modern solutions. Do what I did and call General Communications. They'll design the perfect cloud-based phone system from ShoreTel. ShoreTel, brilliantly simple. Call 1-800-4-GENERAL or click on the General Communications ad at HowieCarrShow.com. I'm Howie Carr.
Hang on. The Howie Carr Show returns next.
Hello, out there. Incredibly bad Christopher Walken impersonator here. I asked my friends at Matthews Brothers, after 163 years, how did you survive the tough times? They told me a little frog was hopping about in a barnyard and being something of a carefree scamp and perhaps a bit too curious, ended up falling into a pail half filled with fresh milk. He swam about attempting to reach the top of the pail, but the sides were too steep to climb. He tried to stretch his little back legs to push off the bottom, but it was too deep. Although he was scared, this frog had spunk. He had determination. He would not give up. So he continued to struggle. He kicked and he squirmed. He squirmed and he kicked until at last all his kicking and squirming about had churned that milk into a big hunk of butter, solid enough for him to climb onto and get out of that pail. You never give up. You can see the results of this singular commitment to wicked awesomeness, but only at better lumber yards and window professionals or on the web at MatthewsBrothers.com. Matthews Brothers with one T, America's oldest window manufacturer. Hello, out there. Incredibly bad Christopher Walken impersonator here. I asked my friends at Matthews Brothers.
Let me tell you, I could feel a difference in as little as 5 days. Limbex uses a proprietary blend of vitamins, herbs, and extracts to deliver nutrients to make a remarkable difference. Renowned natural health expert Dr. David Brownstein formulated Limbex to help people like you and me. And let me tell you, Limbex works. Right now, you can try a 30-day supply of Limbex risk-free when you just pay a small shipping and handling fee. Reverse your joint pain. Put Limbex to work for you today. Learn more and get Limbex at jointhealth411.com. That's jointhealth411.com or call toll-free 800-594-4700. That's 800-594-4700.
We could play another commercial, or we could just play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
I say, hey, wait a minute. He didn't leave the country. He wasn't out of the country. Then Michael Cohen of the Trump Organization was in Prague. It turned out to be a different Michael Cohen. Sure. It's a disgrace what took place. It's a disgrace. And I think they ought to apologize to start with. Michael Carr. Sir, since you're attacking us, can you give us a question? Mr. President-elect. Go ahead. Mr. President-elect, since you are attacking our news organization, can you give us a chance? Your organization. You are attacking our news organization. Can you give us a chance to ask a question, sir? Go ahead. Sir, can you state, Mr. President-elect, go ahead. Can you state categorically, Mr. President-elect, can you give us a question? You're attacking us. Can you give us a question? Can you give us a question?
I'm not going to give you a question.
Can you state categorically?
You are fake news.
Sir,
go ahead.
Can you state categorically that nobody... No, Mr. President-elect, that's not appropriate.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Hey there, quick question for you. Would you be okay with more energy, more endurance, thicker, healthier hair, a better mood, reduced appearance of wrinkles, improved sleep, improved blood pressure and cholesterol profiles, improved vision, improved memory? Okay then. Well now, have you heard of Nature's Youth RSF? It's from the anti-aging experts at nature'syouth.com. Nature'syouth.com. See, at Nature's Youth, they understand exactly what it means to provide top-quality health products. And Nature's Youth customers not only improve their health, they know they're also providing their body with the right nourishment to maintain that peak performance and fight the aging process. If health, wellness, and nutrition are what you desire, choose Nature's Youth RSF. I did. You see, you're going to get older. It's just up to you how you feel when you get there. Get started today. Nature's Youth RSF. Simple to use, simple to order. Go to nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com.
Hi, this is Howie Carr, attorney at law. Are you a white male who voted for Donald Trump? Do you have a Make America Great sweatshirt or a hat? Have you had a beer since November the 8th? If you answered yes to one or more of the above questions, there's a good chance that you are soon going to be charged with committing a fake hate crime. Will you be ready, you uneducated redneck? When you get charged with committing a fake hate crime, will you be ready? You need reasonable doubt at a reasonable price. And that's where Howie Carr, attorney at law, Esquire, comes in. Call me at 1-800-FAKE-HRC. 1-800-FAKE-HRC. And we will get you some legal insurance for when it inevitably occurs and you're charged with a fake hate crime.
Read the uncut edition of Howie's latest Boston Herald column at HowieCarrShow.com. This is the Howie Carr Show.
Today's poll question is brought to you by Casper Mattress. I love this warmer weather, but it can keep you from getting a quality night's sleep. A good mattress helps. I have the best. I have a Casper. Try yours for 100 nights risk-free. Go to Casper.com and use code Howie for $50 towards the purchase of your mattress. Terms and conditions apply. Steve, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Did the Republicans get rolled in budget negotiations?
Most assuredly, yes.
I'm just learning now that it also funds refugee resettlement programs.
Oh,
93% say yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, God.
That's ugly.
And, again, he can claim that, illegal border crossings are down. He got Gorsuch. He got the Keystone Pipeline, et cetera, et cetera. He's cut back regulations and all that stuff. But, I mean, the border wall is, sine qua non, without which nothing, without the border.
Sine qua non.
That's Latin.
Yes, I gathered that. Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. 1-844-500-4242 if you'd like to talk about this, either Fox News or ESPN. That's we'll have Bruce with us for this final segment here, and then we'll start talking about the Newton Judge and the illegal aliens. But Bruce, it seems to me though that given the way they're losing subscribers and how much these rights cost them,
right,
that this is just a drop in the bucket, firing all these people making $100,000-$200,000 a year. I mean, I know that's a lot of money, and there are a lot of them, but that's not. I mean, when you're paying $1 billion or $1.5 billion to the NBA, for goodness sake, that's nothing.
You're right. This is just a start. They're going to start folding up some of their channels. They're going to start folding up where they duplicate. They're going to, combine their TV and their radio group. They're going to, offer less segments. They just can't afford. I mean, the cost of operating is extraordinary, as well as the rights fees. So I'm impressed that they've gone this long. And then you add to that, digital eating away at some of that video money, stream stuff.
Yeah, I don't think people, but ESPN Sports Center, I mean, that just ate the local news sportscasts.
That's right.
And everybody thought this is there'll never be anything to replace ESPN Sports Center. And now here we are 10, 15 years later, and ESPN Sports Center looks like an evening newspaper.
No, absolutely. I mean,
there's no need for ESPN Sports Center anymore because you can just get it right on your smartphone, the highlights.
It's on demand, and they're competing with every streaming option, all the apps, all of the separate companies set up to follow individual sports.
YouTube. It's a lot of this stuff is posted on YouTube now.
It's so fractionalized at this point that it's very hard to make money, and so they're going to have to start to cut back networks, and you'll see it happen over time.
The thing is, too, that, it used to be like when they would have layoffs at the Globe, people would know all the names of the reporters and the columnists that are being laid off. Now they have layoffs. Nobody knows who these people are. I felt the same way when they were laying people off at ESPN. I didn't know. I didn't know the vast majority of these people. I'd never heard of them before. I mean, I knew Lenny Elmore because he used to play in the ACC basketball. I knew Danny Cannell because he was a football player in the ACC. But I mean, most of them I had no idea who they were because I don't watch any of those shows, and I especially don't know anything about the National Hockey League.
Yeah, well, whether you know them or not, they're going to be cutting more and more people, and most of the people.
I'm sure they're nice people and all that. I'm sorry they lost their jobs, but I'm just saying I don't think most people are ever going to even miss them.
I don't think so either, especially because they're going to start providing less services over time. So you're not going to be seeing them anyway, and a lot of people are not going to be seeing them, unfortunately for them.
Bruce Midman, thanks for being with us here on the Howie Carr Show. We'll talk to you next Monday again.
Thanks, and nice seeing you.
Okay. We'll be right back, and we'll be talking about the judge in Newton and the illegal alien she cut loose. I'm Howie Carr.
And now, 6 fun facts in 60 seconds with Grace Curley.
In 2006, an Australian man tried to sell New Zealand on eBay. The price rose to $3,000 before eBay shut it down. Reed Hastings was inspired to start Netflix after racking up a $40 late fee on a VHS copy of Apollo 13. In Japan, letting a sumo wrestler make your baby cry is considered good luck. The 50-star American flag was designed by an Ohio high school student for a class project. His teacher originally gave him a B-. According to the National Insurance Crime Bureau, the most commonly stolen vehicle in 2012 was the 1994 Honda Accord. The Arkansas School for the Deaf's nickname is the Leopards, the Deaf Leopards.
This has been 6 fun facts with Grace Curley in 60 seconds. Check out Grace's latest posts, pictures, and tweets at HowieCarrShow.com.
Many legislators claim to be for lower taxes and government transparency, but are they really? Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance keeps you informed by posting the voting records of our elected officials. You can log on to our website at massfiscal.org. Click Scorecard to see how your legislator is voting on Beacon Hill. And while you're there, make a donation. And be sure to join our email list so you can stay up to date with the latest information on what's happening at the State House with Massachusetts Fiscal Alliance.
Paid for by the Mass Fiscal Alliance, Rick Green, Chairman.
Hi, I'm Howie Carr, and I'm here with Rick Green of the Mass Fiscal Alliance. Wow, Mass Fiscal is really driving the moonbats crazy.
Who knew putting voting records online would be so controversial? Many legislators claim to be for lower taxes and government transparency, but they sure don't vote that way.
Your group is just what this state needs. How can the listeners help you guys?
Just have them visit our website at www.massfiscal.org. They can join our email list and donate if they like. And of course, make sure they check out our scorecard to see how their legislators voted.
Paid for by the Mass Fiscal Alliance, Rick Green, Chairman.
Hi, folks. In a world of GMO, genetically modified organisms, that is, chemicals, processed foods, and a healthcare system that's unraveling like a cheap suit, it's time to prepare. God created herbs, and herbs help man. Our body can heal itself, just sometimes we need assistance. You need some help? GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Our mild detox is quite powerful with its unique blend of 8 different herbs. And if you're looking for more, our non-GMO supplements will help you with different needs you might have. Health should be a top priority. Take care of your health naturally. Log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Give your body a treat. Let the herbs do their thing naturally. Read all the testimonies on the website, GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Sickness and viruses are like intruders, and herbs are like warriors. Let the tea work for you. That's GetTheTea.com.
And now, 6 fun facts in 60 seconds with Grace Curley.
If your dog's feet smell like corn chips, you're not alone. The term Frito feet was coined to describe the scent. Ew. Officials in Portland, Oregon drained 8 million gallons of water from a reservoir in 2012 because a drunk 21-year-old peed in it. Also ew. There's a basketball court above the Supreme Court. It's known as the highest court in the land. If you start counting at 1 and spell out the numbers as you go, you won't use the letter A until you reach 1,000. Wendy's founder Dave Thomas dropped out of high school but picked up his GED in 1993. His GED class voted him most likely to succeed. William McKinley was on a $500 bill, Grover Cleveland was on the $1,000 bill, and James Madison was on the $5,000 bill.
This has been 6 fun facts with Grace Curley in 60 seconds. Check out Grace's latest posts, pictures, and tweets at HowieCarrShow.com. He says it because he means it. This is the Howie Carr Show.
More Chuck Berry. All right. 1-844-500-4242. In case you didn't hear, Joe Biden is not going to be running for president in 2020, or so he says. He's like 90 years old, but he's still going out to every ribbon cutting that he's invited to. He was in New Hampshire last weekend, and saying that he's not going to run for president in 2020. So I guess you'll just have to find somebody new and somebody even older, like Bernie Sanders maybe, or I don't know, or Nancy Pelosi or Maxine Waters. But anyway, we're going to talk about the judge in Newton. I wrote a column about her today. This is Judge Mary Beth Heffernan. We actually have the sound cuts from the hearing. In case you didn't listen to the show last Friday and you didn't read my column today, there was an illegal alien alleged gangbanger deported once before, Dominican, and he was driving an Uber under a assumed name, an alias, and he picked up this drunk BC student, and he figured he could take advantage of her, and he tried to rape her 3 different times, and we didn't even go in. We have all the sound of what he did to her and tried to do to her, according to the prosecutor, and it's too gross to play in the dinner hour or any hour. But so the prosecutor from Middlesex County is looking for $100,000 bail because the ICE Immigration Customs Enforcement is about to put a detainer on him. So they're gonna grab him, and once he's convicted, he has to serve his prison sentence, and then he'll be deported back to the Dominican Republic again. But so they want $100,000 bail, so he can't get anywhere until the detainer is put on him, and he can't be let go. But you're going to hear. So let's start out by playing. This is the female Massachusetts prosecutor from Middlesex County asking the judge. Her name is Mary Beth Heffernan. And again, she's a second-generation hack. I'll spell out what her background is again here in a while. But first, the Massachusetts prosecutor, the assistant district attorney, asking for the $100,000 bail. Cut 11.
Thank you, Your Honor. Turning to the issue of bail, the Commonwealth today is requesting that Mr. Baez be held on $100,000 cash bail. If he is able to post such bail, the Commonwealth requests that he be released only to a GPS bracelet with a condition of 24-hour house arrest. that he be ordered to stay away from the Boston College campus, and of course to stay away from and not contact all witnesses to this case.
Again, he's a previously deported illegal alien. He's accused of rape, and he was operating under an alias. I think he's a flight risk, okay? I think you want to give him a high bail, i.e. a bail he can't make. That seems like very logical to me. But that's not what but his lawyer, I'm sure it's a public defender. Why would his lawyer says why would this deported illegal alien gangbanger want to run away from these rape charges that put him in jail for 15, 20 years, and then after which he would be deported back to the third world hellhole where he belongs. Cut number 8.
But with respect to bail and whether he's going to run, 8 months he was presented with, every day of 8 months was presented with an opportunity to run, knowing that some young woman from Boston College had accused him of rape, and he didn't go.
Thank you. $2,500 cash, stay away from the Boston College campus.
$2,500. I repeat, illegal alien, Dominican, gangbanger, according to the Middlesex County DA's office, using an alias, charged with 3 counts of rape. She gives him $2,500 bond. I mean, and this is in the sanctuary city. They don't call it a sanctuary city. They call it a welcoming city. The welcoming city of Newton, the garden city of Newton. And then she wants to make sure that he doesn't have to go back to the Billerica House of Correction and post the bail. Listen to this. This is the hack judge appointed by Deval Patrick after she gave him $375. This is the woman who stonewalled the Herald and the Globe when we wanted to get the cell phone records of Crash Murray, who he was talking to when he was doing 108 miles an hour in his pajamas in the pre-dawn hours in November or December of 2011. This is what she got the appointment after she stonewalled all of us.
Is he going to make the bail today?
Yes.
Can you take bail downstairs, Lord? Can you take bail here downstairs? Yeah. Sometimes they won't. They make them go back out to the House of Correction at 4 o'clock. They're the best.
God forbid that an illegal alien gangbanger from the Dominican Republic, previously deported, who's been charged with 3 counts of raping an American citizen, should have to go back up to Billerica to make the bail. Wouldn't want to inconvenience him, as he makes his daily rounds, whatever the hell he's doing. And he's operating under an alias. I repeat that again for the.
Doesn't that already make you a flight risk if you're an imposter?
Right. I would say whenever you, how many times have you, anyone who's listening to the show tonight, how many times have you used a fake name in your life? How many times? Not often, I dare say.
Oh, we are in the company of coups.
Well, that's my nickname. And I have been Captain Bradley on occasion from the Somerville Police Department, but not any time recently anyway. I was just trying to get some information. I wasn't trying to portray myself as somebody else. I wasn't Jose Baez pretending to be Pedro Valentin.
I use a fake name sometimes if I answer a call and someone sounds really mad at me.
Yes.
Here, and they say, "Who is this?" And I know they're going to write a really bad email about the call screener. I say, Melissa.
Melissa.
Yeah. Or Marissa.
Do you prefer to be known as Missy? Because oftentimes Melissas are known as Missies. All right, thank you. 1-844-500-4242. Let's take a call from Isaiah, and I'll tell you about this woman after we take some more calls on this at 1-844-500-4242. Isaiah, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Isaiah.
Hi, Captain Bradley. Thanks for taking my call. Long-time listener.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm tired like the rest of us with, Congress and these groups selling us down the river and, judges basically not doing justice. And that's part of why I'm supporting the whole Convention of States project.
Right.
I just want to mention in Maine, we are moving on that here in Maine. We've already passed it in 10 states, and I would just encourage the listeners to consider, imagine coming up with your own ideas on how to limit the power, jurisdiction, and size of the federal government and get it out of your bedroom, out of your wallet, out of your gun closet, everything else. In Maine, we need people to sign up at conventionofstates.com so that
didn't they just? I was listening to
information.
Levin. I was listening to Levin a week or two ago, and didn't they just stiff it somewhere in some states? They thought they had the votes, and the president of the Senate they stopped it from being added to the list of conventions.
That is possible. Basically, the deal is the establishment on both sides of the parties fear this because it allows us to break the gridlock in Washington. It's a clique down there. Hopefully not so much the executive right now, but the executive, the judiciary, and the congressional all cover for each other, and we're the ones footing the bill. But basically, to pass this, everybody in each state, but especially Maine right now, we need people to sign up sign the petition at conventionofstates.com. That's conventionofstates.com. And that allows us to get people to call their legislators when it's time, because we've got to make their phones buzz.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Isaiah. We get the message. I mean, around here in Massachusetts, what we need to do and what we should do, and we're not going to be able to do it because of the way the Constitution of the state is set up, is to elect judges. I mean, can you imagine a woman doing this if she had to face the voters, say, in November of 2018? I don't think it would happen, But they operate with total impunity. I can't even remember the last time we got rid of a judge here in Massachusetts. And again, there was a Chief Scott out in Holyoke. He was from South Carolina originally, where I think where they elect judges. And he came up here and he said, "What the hell's going on? You got these unelected tyrants are running amok and doing what this woman did in Newton last week, and we have to elect judges." And he would always file the bill. And the way it works in Massachusetts is if you give a bill to your legislator, they have to file it. That's in the Constitution. But the bill would never even get out of committee. I don't even think the bill ever got a hearing to elect judges. I mean, that's. They say, well, look at the people that would get elected judges. Could it be any worse than the people who got appointed, like this woman, who has no concern whatsoever? And she's a second-generation hack. Her father was Paul Heffernan. Her name is Mary Beth Heffernan. Her father is Paul Heffernan, and he was the clerk of what was then the Boston Juvenile Court. They wanted to open that job for Jackie Bulger, Whitey and Billy Bulger's younger brother, who's now a convicted felon himself. Perjured himself in front of a federal grand jury investigating cocaine-dealing, serial-killing Whitey's safe deposit boxes in Florida. And so they made him a judge. He was in a brawl, alleged brawl at Quincy Market with some kid who'd mouthed off to his son. He was accused of disrespecting a woman who was appealing for a restraining order against her estranged husband. The husband later, he gave the restraining order to the woman, but the husband ended up killing her, strangling her, stabbing her, shooting her at a bus stop in Arlington and dumping her body at the Lexington town dump. I mean, this is like a second-generation hack. Mary Beth Heffernan. How the hell is this tolerated? And how can you have people giving big contributions to governors or other politicians and then turning around and getting an appointment from them? I mean, is there any kind of I know it's public record. They have to list, the politician has to list who he's getting the money from, but isn't there some sort of an appearance of impropriety? You give a few $100 to a governor and then he appoints you to a judgeship like Deval Patrick did for this woman Mary Beth Heffernan. 1-844-500-4242. This half hour of the Howie Carr Show is powered by the Car Guys. Purchasing a pre-owned car can be tricky, but not if you go through Bill Papa George. He is the absolute best in the business. Both Grace and I use the Car Guys, and we are so happy we did. Call 800-300-4600. Let's take a quick call, one more call here. Doug, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Doug.
Howie, we do live in bizarro world, because I am going to bet 100% that these are activist, feminists, this judge and stuff. But where's all the outcry from the women's groups when someone gets
I agree.
Thrown away like this? But Duke lacrosse And let's get every expose down there. Let's get on them. Let's convict them.
Don't forget UVA. Don't forget the UVA fraternity, another fake rape case involving American citizens. They went crazy about the Duke Lacrosse and UVA fraternity house, and now you have an illegal alien who has somebody actually pointing the finger at him, and they let him go with a slap on the wrist to run away.
Yeah, and it's May Day. How appropriate.
Yeah. I know. I know. I don't get it. And they think all these cities. Somebody called earlier today and said Orono, Maine is voting to become a sanctuary city tonight. I mean, how many more sanctuary cities do you need? How many more rapists do you need being cut loose and to rape and murder and pillage again against American citizens? Thanks for the call, Doug. We'll take some more calls when we come back. I'm Howie Carr.
Don't move. Howie Carr is back next.
Hello, out there. Incredibly bad Christopher Walken impersonator here. I asked my friends at Matthews Brothers, after 163 years, how did you survive the tough times? They told me a little frog was hopping about in a barnyard and, being something of a carefree scamp and perhaps a bit too curious, ended up falling into a pail half filled with fresh milk. He swam about attempting to reach the top of the pail, but the sides were too steep to climb. He tried to stretch his little back legs to push off the bottom, but it was too deep. Although he was scared, this frog had spunk. He had determination. He would not give up. So he continued to struggle. He kicked and he squirmed. He squirmed and he kicked until at last all his kicking and squirming about had churned that milk into a big hunk of butter, solid enough for him to climb onto and get out of that pail. You never give up. You can see the results of this singular commitment to wicked awesomeness, but only at better lumberyards and window professionals or on the web at MatthewsBrothers.com. Matthews Brothers with one T, America's oldest window manufacturer.
Exceed your expectations. So give me a call at 800-300-4600. That is 800-300-4600.
You've probably heard about all the great benefits of goat milk soap, but did you know some companies take shortcuts? At Old New England Soap, we make our organic goat's milk soap using 36% goat's milk. That's 17% more than most others. Our bars are larger, so they last longer, producing lots of lather packed with vitamins. And our soap is a natural moisturizer that smooths dry and damaged skin. Order online at oldnesoap.com. That's oldnesoap.com. You've tried the rest. Now try the best. oldnesoap.com.
We could play another commercial, or we could just play 60 seconds of Donald Trump. Yeah, let's do that.
While I'm not at this time a candidate for the presidency, I will decide by June whether or not I will become one. Business Week magazine, which is now Bloomberg Business Week, said in a vote of its readers that Donald Trump was the world's most competitive business person.
The Pew Research says that there are, for immigrants on the whole,
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.
I mean, I don't know if you're going to put this on television, but you don't even know what you're talking about. Try getting it out. Go ahead. I know the greatest negotiators in the world. Some are horrible people, horrible human beings. Who cares? Some Wall Street guys, they're brutal, they're miserable. You wouldn't want to go out to dinner. They're terrible people. I love them.
This is the Howie Carr Show.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm telling you right now, it's awesome. I was trying to get my blood pressure regulated, okay? And after 3 days of taking this thing, my blood pressure went back down to normal. I am ecstatic. I am so happy with this stuff. It is my savior.
This was the first summer that I have not had to have a steroid shot to help me to breathe.
The reason why I'm taking it because I've got Hep C. Once I began taking your stuff, it took a few months, but believe it or not, my liver enzymes are way down and it's normal now. It works.
The new challenge will allow you to receive 2 months of Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies free. And we'll even ship them to you free. Call now for details. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code TALK.
It's the most effective product that I've ever bought in my life, but I should have ordered it like 15 years ago.
If your home has hard water, then it's likely that limescale is clogging your pipes, damaging your appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars each year. You can eliminate limescale in the entire house with HydroCare products available at Wave Home Solutions. Easy and efficient with no maintenance, no salts, no chemicals, and no coils. And you can buy with confidence from Wave Home Solutions. Performance guaranteed. Just go to bestwater411.com. That's bestwater411.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Have you seen Howie's latest t-shirts and sweatshirts? Grab one now at HowieCarrShow.com. This is the Howie Carr Show.
1-844-500-4242. 603 says, how much are these illegals worth if the politicians are so willing to sell out their own kids' futures? I don't, who knows? I mean, do they even think that they're selling out their own kids' futures, or do they think they're just, that their kids don't have to worry because they've been so good to the illegals that they won't get raped, they won't get murdered, they won't get robbed, they won't have their neighborhoods destroyed by these illegal aliens? I don't understand it myself. I mean, I would think that, again, this is a woman judge lets this guy go. And again, it's like the earlier caller said, Doug. I mean, what about the Duke lacrosse team? Remember that? That was like the biggest story in the country for a few days or a few weeks. And then the UVA rape story. Again, both stories totally bogus, but they involved Americans. So they had to be accused. But then you have this epidemic of rape from third world invaders, and they just can't wait to let them go. Colleen, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Colleen, on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead.
Hey, Howie. I have to say I loved your show a week ago Sunday.
Thank you.
Grace is gorgeous. But you asked what we'd have to do to get rid of her, and it brought back memories, very, very harsh memories, of Judge Maria Lopez. Do you remember her?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Who let a transvestite go after performing an unnatural act on a minor?
After he threatening him with a screwdriver, I think, a sharpened screwdriver. Yes.
Something like that. Yeah. So I guess we have to wait for Judge Heffernan to go off the grid and tell someone to sit down and shut up before Charlie Baker will grow a set and step in and do something.
Don't hold your breath waiting for Charlie to grow a set, Colleen, as you well know, I think. No. And by the way, I don't think she was impeached. She finally resigned, right? I mean, they were just making moves to go after her, and she decided she was married to a really rich guy who owned a crappy newspaper. Yeah. At a radio station.
That was a gentle nudge.
Yes.
That was a gentle nudge they gave her to let her save her ugly face. And she was one ugly person.
She was a horrible human being. There's no question about it. And she's gone now. But I don't think this woman is not gonna go. You need the jaws of life to pry her out of the public memory.
No. More suffering in store for us. Much more.
Exactly. Thanks for the call, Colleen, and thanks for bringing up Maria Lopez. Yeah, she was. She told the prosecutor. The prosecutor was saying, please, will you take this seriously? And she just started screaming at the prosecutor. In this case, Tommy, you're next with. In this case, in Heffernan's case, she just cut off the woman, the assistant district attorney. Tommy, you're next with Howie Carr on the General Communications listener line. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, Howie, these are just minor crimes these poor people are committing. They're minor crimes. Why would we report somebody for these minuscule little crimes? Howie, one time I snuck in the old Boston Garden, right?
Yeah.
And I'm watching the Bruins game. Didn't pay for tickets, snuck in the exit door. Everything was nice, So then I got it in my head after a couple of drinks, I'm going to steal a couple of the Bruins sticks. you know? So I went down, I went to grab the sticks, the cops cut me, right? Why didn't they let me stay and watch the rest of the game? That was just a minor crime. They threw me out of the garden. I couldn't believe it.
They deported you from the garden just because you wanted to steal a couple of the hockey sticks?
It's just a minor crime, you know? I mean, hey, Howie, one other thing. Who do you think, if you had to guess, who crashed Murray on the telephone with?
I've heard so many stories, Tommy, about that. I don't want to say it on the air, but, I've heard there are about as many stories as there are people at the State House. I have my own theories, but I don't want to say them on the air because I'm not sure of it. I have no idea if it's true or not. Thanks for the call. I'm Howie Carr.
We could play another commercial, or we